And what a shot from Kirica, taking that off the ceiling, underneath the ball, and straight down the middle.
Oh, there it is, out of the blue!
2 seconds left on the clock and the Joker finds something out of nothing!
Now, that pass from Shadow was immaculate, playing it straight down center. He just had to get a touch, and it's all he needed.
Sonic has a chance, it's an open net if he sees it. Looking for the shot downfield, goes into the corner, Kilogram! He gets the goal!
They're just in front of the net. Nuke barely keeps it out there, dies on the goal line. The long shot, it finds it through. Into Z, gonna pick it up.
This is RSC Season 3. There has been so much going on, and we haven't even started the season proper yet. But the hype is growing, the hype is building. Welcome to you all. I am Greybeard, fresh from being cut from my roster on Fort Templar, but they couldn't get rid of me on the broadcast, so I'm here and thrilled to be bringing you 4 grand finals, the grand finals of pre-season in every single tier. And that's pretty much what's happening tonight. Is we, through the course of the last 2 weeks, every franchise picked between 6 and 7 players out of draft, and there've been trials, there've been preseason games, all in an effort to cut down those rosters. All of the rosters are now down to 5, and by tomorrow night, those 5 need to be cut to 4. So all of this is to hone the rosters, the best possible roster each franchise can put together, and that's what this is all about. So tonight, these grand finals, it's not about the season, it's about early domination for the league. That's what each team in these grand finals is looking. Early bragging rights, early domination going into league play. And of course, this being brought to you and made possible by our sponsors. And we have a broadcast sponsor, and we have a prize pool sponsor. Giving us a prize pool of 18,000 Rand is Nexa. So huge shout out to them for supporting Community Rocket League. And then you saw their ad at the start of the stream, Genisus Extreme. They are driving our broadcasts, and they are revolutionizing it in a way I'm kind of missing. The days when I was doing the streaming, doing the hosting, and trying to get hold of teams and setting up the lobbies, which was absolute chaos. But now we're making it look slick and amazing, courtesy of Genisus Extreme. So let's look at our schedule for the night. This is what you're going to see. All best of 7s. We start with Prospect, Accelerate versus Jokers, and then moving into the rival tier, Voila versus Bravo Force, and then into Elite Delta Force versus Ostrom, and finally our top tier, the Masters and Goonie versus the Ballers. All of those happening right here and live, and it's gonna be a night to remember. And bringing you the first series, the first grand final, are our first 2 casters, our European imports of Vector and RhinoCast.
It's so good to be here, Greybeard. Back in the booth with you again as well. It has been a while, and I believe I've been with Rhino in the European scene a couple times too, as you said, coming over from that scene. It's going to be interesting for a transition. Personally, for me at least, I've never really seen the sub-Saharan African region, how they play, the style that they utilize in every single one of their tiers. But it's a more condensed style, with there only being four divisions, only 10 franchises. It's a little bit of a shift for me personally. But for you, Rhino, are you looking forward? Are you excited to this season going forward?
I am super excited. I was just about brought in at the last part of season 2 here in SSA for the playoffs, and I had such a blast taking through every single tier from Prospect,
through to Masters. So maybe a little bit more accustomed to the gameplay than Vector over there. But I mean, yeah, we have some exciting matchups tonight. The first one is going to be an absolute belter. And I mean, I can't wait to get started, Greybeard.
Well, we were talking off stream before we went live about which is the most fun to watch and cast. And of course, Master is always fun because you're getting those high-level mechanics and, that sort of long experienced gameplay. But we start off at Prospect, and Bromeo was talking about it. I'm a big fan of this tier because it's people learning, honing their skills. So yeah, you see a lot of mistakes and a lot of often chaos, but I believe it really, really entertaining. And we're going to see the rosters we're going to be looking at over on Accelerate. We have Veen van Rooyen, Jakes the Snake, Weaver, Dark Adept, and Razor. And all of those are going to be wanting to put on their best show, because by the end of tomorrow this roster is down to 4. And then over on the Jokers from Dynasty, Divine, Clax, the Dogman, the High Frequency, and a caster, Muzz. And I'm not sure how much of a run he's gonna have, but hopefully he can hold that, fly the flag for the casters. But gentlemen, good luck. I'm gonna leave the two of you to it. So Vector, Rhino casts. What I'll be interested to know at the end when we talk again, based on what you've seen, who you think makes the cut at the end. Oh, let's see if I put you on that spot. But in the meantime, Rhino and Vector, over to you.
I can't believe we've just been thrown that, Vector. That's absolutely outrageous.
You just got to expect it with Greybeard.
Yeah.
That's what he does.
That is fair, but there you go. Redirect, Accelerate taking on Dynasty, Jokers, two big teams in the scene. Certainly Redirect, of course, very, very well known. And then Dynasty, the Monarch Realm kind of division for RSC. Should be very exciting indeed. And we've also been able to swap names here, RhinoCast, so it's a pleasure to be joined by you. But no, talk to me quickly about the fact that we've got 5 players here. Do we expect to see all 5 at some point on the field? Do we expect the teams to know what their kind of teams are? Where do you think this goes?
I think it's difficult to say. It goes down to the individual philosophies of their teams, of the captains, of the management going to the back as well. I assume most teams would prefer to keep the same 4 players going. They'll have had some preseason games and scrims going on that will have determined that their best roster, or the roster that they think is the most likely to proceed into the season proper. This preamble, this curtain raiser, so to speak, is more about making a statement and putting your best foot forward, at least in my opinion. So I expect to see their more high CMV players, so to speak, on their teams playing on the field tonight. Depends. We won't know until we get onto the field. But I just want to see the best players do what they have done throughout the preseason to get to this point at all in the final itself, because the two teams you can see on the screen here, the brackets that they've had to go through. The Jokers, the 3-0 clean sweep over to Swana to get into this final, but Accelerate, they did have to drop a game to Omega Force in that semi-final. So just based on that, I'm expecting maybe Jokers to take the advantage going into this one, but depending on the players, time will tell.
Yeah, it really could go either way. And the fascinating thing about this is we had a group set up for this preseason tournament, and both of these teams reaching this final are from Group A, both Jokers and Accelerate, and they both lost a game during that group format. Looking over to Group B, the 2 teams that they had to play in those semi-finals, which was Omega Force and Tswana, neither of those teams lost a game across the group stage. And all of a sudden you get into the semi-finals, you get into a position where you're playing against, that higher team. Maybe there's a little bit more nerves that creep in, and suddenly maybe the things that you've been working on just don't go your way, whatever it happens to be. And so at the end of the day, Omega Force and Tswana aren't here. It's going to be the Jokers and Accelerate who managed to get through and win those semi-finals to get to this point. And I mean, congratulations to them in the first instance, but they were so close in the groups, Vector, that it really, really could be either of them taking the victory.
Certainly were. It's a great point to make, and it's kind of a beautiful thing that both these teams ended up in this final because of the fact we already have some information of how they've played against each other. They faced each other in the preseason in Group A, and they only ended up with 1 game win difference between them. And Jokers and Accelerate went 3-1. Jokers beat Accelerate 3-1 in the preseason groups. So they've already beaten them. It wasn't a set of 4 games, not in a best of 5 elimination scenario. This is actually a best of 7, so it'll be even more interesting to see who has the longevity, who is able to play for longer and maybe hit the ground running faster. But just based on the stats, they're extremely similar. A single goal score between them, but Accelerate tend to concede far more, so maybe they're a bit more of a high risk, high reward type of team and play on the counter a lot. But just based on those stats, based on the ground level, the foundation that these two have laid throughout the preseason, as I said before, I'm expecting the Jokers to be the stronger of the two sides. But Prospect is an absolute coin flip. There's absolutely no way of knowing which team is going to beat the other, in my opinion, the way that I see it. So I'm just looking forward to an entertaining match, if nothing else.
Well, we're not looking forward to it anymore because we are underway. The first game of this best of 7 begins right now as it's Jokers taking on Accelerate. It's going to be over on this left-hand side. The Jokers trying to get control as they take the shots up left-hand corner. Eclipse getting on the board for Dynasty early on, 20 seconds in the first game. And what a wonderful laser that is into that top corner.
Now, I wouldn't claim to be any kind of oracle at this point, Rhino, but yeah, Jokers have started off on the hot foot, 20 seconds in, and a great finish, as you said, laser to the top left, Divine with a great 50 as well to keep the pressure on early stages of this best of 7, of course, though, so it's not going to make much difference if Accelerate can find a way back into the opposite side of the field, still forced to defend at this time, as Eclipse tries to find his teammate down through the midfield, but it's not going to work out. A little bit of time for Redirect Esports to redirect their fortunes potentially, now trying to break out of their own half, but they're seeming to struggle in this first minute. They have finally managed to do that, get past the halfway line. First step has been taken. Can they continue to do so?
Yeah, it's going to be over for Dark here on the left-hand side. Gets intercepted by Eclipse. Cleared by Jake, who now moves down that left-hand side. Gets a nice second touch as well. As it's moving forwards towards that bottom left-hand corner, it's a good save by Eclipse, who will now start moving down the right-hand side for Jokers. Intercepted there. Big donk from Jake, but it's all the way through to Divine, who will now try and get inside. It's neither of them come up with the ball. Eclipse putting this one back inside. Jake with enough of a clearance for the moment, but it's still going to fall to Eclipse, who gets this one over the bar. Is there a third man push? No, there isn't. And it will be cleared away. But for the moment, it is all Jokers, you would have to say, as far as the offense goes. And they come again. It's Dogman trying to get this one. Eclipse moving forwards. That one, a nice redirect there, actually, but saved away by Accelerate once again. Their defense needs to step up if they're going to win this series, as you've already mentioned, Vector.
The Jokers typically considered the wild cards in a deck of 52, but right now they're rather composed and controlled in their gameplay and managing to hold off the Accelerate team. They cannot even break out of their own half. They finally managed to do so, but Eclipse waiting in the back wing managed to 50 at least to the corner. And a pickup will be easily taken past the first man as well. We're not seeing much pressure from Accelerate going forward. They're waiting for their chances rather than just taking them and forcing the issue, but they managed to get a slow roller to go through here. And one of the slowest goals I've ever seen scored in an RSC lobby. Actually managed to go through, and an equalizer as well. Despite all the pressure and the control that Jokers had going forward in these first 2 minutes, they've lost the lead that quickly.
Yeah, you say that quickly. I mean, the goal did take 2 minutes still, but at the end of the day,
that, more so
just
than
like that. Blink and you miss it.
Oh, yeah, pretty much.
As the ball gets played back in, Joker's trying to get this goal back, this lead back. Their pressure is strong, but at the moment it's being dealt with by Accelerate, who now start moving down the field. It's going to be a chance now for the goal scorer once again off the backboard, looking for something here. It will be sent clear by Dogman, who will wait for Eclipse to get control. Does do so as well on the right-hand side now, looking for the pass. It's a good ball to the back post, but Dogman went up at the front, and that means that this one will not go in the net for now, but that one's going to be played all the way back. Dogman takes a shot away by Dark for the moment. It's going to be sent around the side. Jake trying to move this forwards for Accelerate, but doesn't get the pinch that he was looking for. It's Eclipse off that corner, but it should be sent clear by Dark once again. Intercepted by Dogman. This pressure from Jokers is unrelenting. Accelerate scored a counter-attacking goal, Vector, but at the moment, it's their defense that has to stand strong.
And it's managing to do so far. Maybe that equalizer knocked Jokers for a little bit of a loop. They haven't been able to consistently put those shots on when there hasn't been a defender in the way. Accelerate have managed to shore up a little bit and get some stops of their own, but it doesn't matter. We shouldn't be talking about their defense. It's all cylinders firing here on offense as Jake goes all the way up to pull 2 defenders. Eclipse managed to get a touch. It was already going in, but the goal scorer for Accelerate, Van Rooyen, comes back in for his brace and a lead goal as well with just 1 minute 20 on the clock. Accelerate managed to take the lead, and it's in sort of a against the run of play situation. We keep talking about it, we keep harping on about it, that the Jokers have had most of the control throughout this game, but it doesn't matter if you have all the possession in the world. If you don't do anything with it, it's worthless, and that's exactly what Accelerate have been doing, quality over quantity.
Absolutely, and that's a really important point that you make there is, yeah, Jokers maybe putting a lot of shots on goal. They're putting another one on here. Eclipse trying to get up for that one. It's off the crossbar. Chance save on the line. I think that was Dark who made that save, and fantastically done there as well by the redirect defender, as they will try and keep this ball in redirect half. Will Jokers, as the ball played to the back post. Oh my goodness, that's dangerous. It's off 2 posts. They've got to send it away. They're not going to be able to do so. Eclipse finishes that one off, and that is prime Prospects play.
There is not a better example. That is a case study of just exactly what Greybeard was talking about. I think it was before the stream began, that he just loves Prospects so much because of the chaos that it can cause, the absolute nonsense that might happen as a result of possibly blunders, but sometimes it is calculated, it is predetermined. Whatever it was in that situation, I'm not entirely sure, but the result is that it's an equal game with 30 seconds left to go, and it's been a bit fast and loose for both sides, but they have started to find their footing here in the final few moments. Now it is just going to come down to the wire. We have an OT in the very first opening game of these preseason finals. Well, I'd love to see it, Rhino.
Yeah, it's going to be close. Dark is going to take a shot here. It's not got the power, and it will be dealt with by Divine, who kind of AFKs in the same spot, but knows he's going to make the save. That one's across the board. It's going to be up in the air. They're going to try and keep it up. Maybe Rooyen. Oh my goodness, he's got the hat-trick. He gets the assist. 0-second goal for Redirect, and they win it at the death. 3-2.
How could it have begun any better? This night is destined for greatness, Rhino, as at this point I have to assume Accelerate are, because they began this game completely on the back foot. They looked like they were headless chickies, completely lost, had no control of the ball, lack of understanding of where they needed to be to prevent Joker's amount of pressure, but it all just came fumbling down for Jokers in the end. They couldn't make the most of the opportunities that he created, and on the opposite side, a buzzer beater for Accelerate. Absolutely incredible from Van Rooyen to keep that ball up, flick it across to the backboard as well. And then that finish was exceptional from Dark Adept. What a way to begin the night.
What a way to begin the night. You see right in front of you there that Redirects have actually maybe figured out their system. All of the players within 10 score of each other, which, by the way, that does not happen very often. You normally see someone take the lead and then start the other two maybe fall off, but no, a very even game on the side of Redirects. They clearly know their roles and they know how to play them. Jokers, they had a lot of the possession, they had a lot of the attacks, but if you don't score goals, Vector, then as you said during the cast, it is pointless.
Yeah, it's one of those things I go back and forth with about defense. If a team has a lot of saves, you might think, oh, they're pretty good on defense. They get a lot of stops. But there's the flip side of that. They also get shot at a lot. There's a lot of very dangerous strikes going towards their net. So it's not always a good thing to have a lot of saves. But in this instance, it worked. They managed to hold fast and they held the Bastion down and they struck back. They coiled back like a spring and managed to get the first game under the belt. Of course, best of 7, they will have to do it at very least 3 more times. Whether or not it's going to be the same story throughout these next, well, potentially 3 games, potentially more, time will tell. But I think Jokers really just didn't know what to do after they got equalized on it. It was just a strange thing to see.
Yeah, and we'll see if they can start to steady the ship here in game number 2. 4.5 minutes left on the clock already. It's been a very back and forth 30 seconds, but neither team really having too many chances until this one comes through. Good save by Dark. It's a shot in from Dogman, who will get the opening goal of game number 2. But Vector, we have to be careful. We must beware hubris. Joker scored first in game 1 as well, and we just saw how that one went.
It did indeed. The script is going according to plan so far for Accelerate's favor. They just have to concede first. That's when they really wake up. It's just a shot to the jugular and recognition that they need to step up and be a bit more conscious of where they're playing the ball and went to challenge and went not to. It was just a little bit unfortunate for the Accelerate defense and where they put the ball there. Just about positioning and rotation, being able to trust your teammates in the right position. As we see here, Eclipse and Dogman getting on top of each other, but not pounced upon by Accelerate. They still hold possession. Dogman taking it all the way through the corner, up to the ceiling as well. Not quite enough. Eclipse will pop it high for Divine to try and finish, but just flies straight past the ball. Jake happy and willing to take this back down the other end of the field. And it's just a back and forth nature of this game, because I think the way that the first one ended, Jokers will be very much sat back and a bit more cautious of the way that they play. Or they might not. They might just be completely, they don't care. They'll just play the exact same way they've always played and just hope it works out this time. But I see Accelerate with a lot more confidence going into the second one.
I agree, as it's going to be Eclipse now looking for this one. Dark sends it clear. It's going to be Dogman to collect once again. He's dunked. On this occasion, it's going to be sent clear by Ruyan, who had 2 from the first game. Wants to open his account for game number 2, won't find it. Good save coming in from the Jokers, but there will still be a chance. Divine and Jake play a 50 there, and another one comes through as well. Ruyan trying to really get the ball towards that Accelerate goal, but hang on a moment. Eclipse sending this one back downfield. It's off the crossbar. Any second man there is. It's Dogman again, but it's a good save this time by Ruyan to keep the Jokers at bay and keep the scoreline at 1-0.
Somewhat of a muted counter there. It slowed down towards the middle of the play, and thankfully for Accelerate, they managed to get back in time. But it's not great so far. Now halfway through the game, we're not seeing as much fight from them as we saw in the opener. And Jokers still hold on to that fragile 1-goal lead, as we know how quickly it could crumble. And Accelerate struggling to get to the corner here. Eclipse does pop it down, maybe a touch that Dark wasn't expecting from Ruyan there, and it has sort of muted them going forward, but they still have possession. Dark opts to just play this through to the corner. Maybe gonna pop up for someone to follow. James is there, or Jake is there, my mistake. Gonna be follow-up. Van Ruin all the way to the ceiling, free to play with it, but Eclipse has that backboard covered. Well played from Jokers there to make sure they're not leaving too much space open for Accelerate to exploit.
Oh, yay.
Well, that's a play that I didn't curse, all right? I'm holding my hands up. That's not my fault. Unfortunate
Dark
for Eclipse.
plays the ball off of Dogman. Eclipse not across in time, and unfortunately that is the equalizer that Jokers really did not want to concede, certainly not at this stage. Less than 2 minutes on the clock. Jakes is going to take the shot. It's going to go off the side, and Divine will be able to get the clearance. Counter-attack on the cards here for Jokers!
Redemption.
And it will be Eclipse making up for the mistake earlier on, retaking the lead for Jokers. But Vector, I swear I've seen this movie before.
Maybe it was the opposite direction that it happened in the first game. Just expecting one thing to happen, it goes the opposite direction. We obviously saw the glimpse of the highs and lows of Prospect there. Eclipse missing his, well, you got to say an easy save. It was a pretty simple stop. But instant redemption there on the quick counter. Great play from Divine to flick it over one, get the pass across. And that's exactly the way that they want to be playing. To not think about the mistakes that they made in the past. All that matters is the present, what you could do at this very moment. As another one comes flying through for Eclipse, but thankfully for Accelerate, Jake is back to keep that deficit to just 1. I think a 2-goal game here would make it very difficult for Accelerate to get back into it, but it's not going to be 2 goals, it's going to be 0. Another equal game at the very the edge, the embers of the game. I'm thinking I've started to see this film before as well.
Yeah, Jake just being able to beat Dogman off that backboard and beat him in the air. Accelerate somehow coming back from the depths once again. 2-2 with just over a minute on the clock. If we get another 0-second goal, Vector, I might just riot. But it's Dark playing this one down the field. Dogman intercepts. Now starting to move forwards for Jokers. Trying to get that ball in field. Jakes misses out, but Dark will be there to push the ball forwards where 2 of his teammates are waiting, but it's Eclipse to win that one, takes the shot, gets the goal. And this is not a film that is a replay from previous. This one is a sequel, and this time Jokers, they want all of the marbles. 3-2 with 48 seconds left.
They realized an equal game at the very end. If the ball doesn't hit the floor, your opponent scores, it's all over. There is no overtime, so they're managed to take the reins here and determine their own destiny. But Eclipse with a loose ball sends it straight to Jake, looking for the double as well. It's going to be lackluster, but both misses means that there's time and space for Jokers to take this out, do whatever they want with it. Dogman just throws it to the first man. They do manage to find their way through the corner, but Jake will pick it up here. Attempts a pinch to go forward, but that attack is sidelined by Eclipse, not even allowed past that midway line. And with 20 seconds left, Jokers, all they have to do is keep possession and keep the attackers away. But Dark goes hurtling towards the ball to try and get anything on it. They have to throw everything now. It's just desperation at this point. An equalizer is what they must get as this final 10 seconds dawns as Divine misses this as well. Jake gets a free one off the ceiling. And the calamity once more of Prospect rears its ugly head. As Divine, I'm not sure what happened there, if it just came a little bit too quickly for him, if he didn't have ball come on, but whatever it is, equal game, 7 seconds left, we're right back where we began.
Jake the Snake with the DDT onto Jokers, and it's 3-3. Divine might get a chance to right the wrongs. Ball stays up, but it will be on the ground, and what we were promised in game 1 that was snatched away from us comes to us in game 2. Overtime between Jokers and Accelerate. It's going to be Eclipse to take the first possession down the line. A big pinch away, though, from Accelerate. Gets past Jake, though, does Eclipse. Now he's going to try and go up that right-hand wall. It's massively pinched between Ruyan and Jake, but hold on a minute. It's Divine to fly through. Finds the bottom left-hand corner, and that is what Jokers were wanting. That will allow them to steady his ship. That will give them some confidence. And the series is tied up 1-1.
I mean, it's a Hollywood script. I refuse to accept anything else. We saw Eclipse make a fumble on defense, scores the next goal, gets the go-ahead goal, in fact. Exact same thing happens with Divine. He misses, a more difficult save there, you have to admit. And then just goes on to score the winner in OT. It's like it's nothing. It's all written ahead of time. I won't accept it. But it's still great because it's now an equal series once more. It will not be a sweep. It won't be a sweep either way. And I think that's a good thing for just the whole situation as a series and as a preseason final, especially. You never want to see the very end and the best two teams theoretically in their division go to just a sweep, but it be an easy beat either way. We did, of course, say at the beginning that Jokers beat Accelerate 3-1 in the preseason group match, but this is going to be back and forth the entire way, I'm assuming, just based on what we've already seen. And I'm just hoping to see more of the great gameplay that Jokers brought out. A lot of counter-attacking plays, but Accelerate, it was strange the way that they did it. I don't know, they got 2 easy goals from mistakes on defense. I'm just assuming that Jokers don't want that to continue to happen going forward in the series.
Well, you wouldn't think so, considering we actually talked up their defense before the game, right? They have the lowest goals conceded in the entire preseason for Prospect, right? Only 25 goals conceded. Their defense has been white hot at the moment up until this point, but we've just seen a couple of mistakes. You would imagine, Vector, that if they can right those, if they can now start, getting on the end of some of those shots, making sure they don't go in the back of the net, then this is going to be a very, very long night for Accelerate.
I would imagine that to be the case, as I believe we see a substitution here, unless it's a name change. We see Weaver come in for Accelerate, and wanting to make a change here after that second game loss. Perhaps their play was having some technical difficulties. Whatever the case, the team's makeup has switched up, and we'll have to see whether or not that helps or hinders Accelerate. It might throw Jokers off a little bit here going forward. The Dogman tries to follow up the touch as Eclipse gets a nice little nick on it, but it won't be enough to get past the Accelerate defense this time.
And I don't think it's surprising that it's redirects to make that first substitution. I think if either team weren't happy with how they were playing, it probably would be the Accelerate side. I think Joker's just trying to, as I say, tighten up that defense, and the rest will kind of come. Dark is going to take a shot here. It's away by Eclipse for the moment. Back inside from Ruyan, but he gets 50. Divine tries to clear, and it will be down to the Dogman, who does eventually get that clearance for the Jokers. But good aggression from Redirect, as Ruyan will send this one up to Dark, who doesn't read it. Don't worry, it was just a fake, as Ruyan continues down the left-hand side. Ball to the back post, dealt with by Eclipse, just about. But at the end of the day, this is significantly better from Redirect right now. Certainly more attacks than we'd seen in the first 2 minutes of the previous 2 games.
And that may be by design. As you said, bringing in a different player could completely change the makeup of your team, depending on how aggressive they are, their philosophy going forward, and their rotation. But personally, I think it's a strange thing to do. In most situations, bringing in a player mid-series can throw you off massively. yeah, even if it throws off your opponent, it can really change how you approach the game and how you think about it. As we see a double commit here between the substitute Weaver and Van Rooyen, and they were close games. Both games ended in one goal. There was an overtime in the second. It's a coin flip. There's no way to know which way that's gonna go. But we do see once more Jokers take the first goal of the game. Took a little bit longer this time, almost 2 minutes in, but it is following the script once more.
Yeah, Weaver unlucky on that backboard, knew what he wanted to do, just free jumped it a little too early, and that left the opportunity there for Dogman to get the goal. And Jokers, as you said, following the script, 1-0. Eclipse trying to make it 2 very quickly. Oh, how has that been kept out? Dark Adept able to keep that ball out of the redirect goal, but I don't think even he knows how he did it, Vector.
Fortune can be fickle. Sometimes it really hates you, and sometimes it can favor you, as we get a great stop there for Accelerate once more, only just struggling to keep this a 1-goal game and having to try and fight for the scraps going forward. There's a waste of possession here from Weaver. We'll send it back to Van Rooyen, forced to deal with this all on his lonesome on the backboard. Does well though, and to get to the follow-up, but it's going to be straight to Divine. Dogman takes it away from him. This could be awful for Jokers, but they managed to hold on to possession. And it's very much a game of dominoes, Rocket League. It's the step by step of how it breaks down into the play that you're trying to make, score a goal. Everything just connects to that one dot, that one moment that it could have been a mistake. Thankfully, for Joker's sake, they get away with it. Accelerate, do not capitalize, but to the backboard, this is going to be awkward for them to deal with. A double commit. Weaver takes it away from the net. Van Rooyen to try and follow up, but it's just not quite composed enough. It's not calculated enough. There's not enough team play going on. It's almost as if Accelerate are scared to go up the field in duos and try and help each other. They're just falling onto the situations they find themselves in, and that has to change quickly.
It does. It's going to be intercepted here by Eclipse, getting a reset in prospect. All right, it's going to be Divine. Now moving forwards, off over the top of one, looking for that double touch off the ceiling, off the crossbar. Not quite able to find it on this occasion, but you can see that Jokers are starting to warm into the series. They're starting to get their groove. Ryan taking a shot there, saved by Dogman, cleared by Eclipse. Dark is going to be put under some pressure. Eclipse keeps the ball moving. That one might be on target. It's away by Ryan for the moment. Tries to move down the field once again. Divine intercepting into the corner. Away by the side of Jokers once again. Ooh. Weaver trying, hang on a moment. Dogman takes a shot, it's off the crossbar. And it's going to be Weaver to try and clear. Doesn't do so. No. Divine off the crossbar once again. Multiple chances for Jokers to finish game 3, and multiple chances not taken, Vector.
Teed up twice for 2 strikers to take a pop at it, and not enough to get that precious second goal. And this one denied as well. Dark was forced to hurtle himself across the goal line to keep it out. Van Rooyen pops it up high once more. Such dangerous moments here on defense for Accelerate, but they're getting away with it. And so long as they keep it a 1-goal game, the opportunity is there. They've done it once before. Can they do it once more? Van Rooyen is going to take it over one, but he can't get it high enough to get over the third man. No one there to follow up. They have to capitalize on that chance as Dark Adept gets stripped off of him, and they just about managed to keep possession here. They pulled 2 offenders out. Van Rooyen sends it flying to the backboard. Divine is going to miss. Van Rooyen will miss as well. Wasn't expecting the whiff from the defender as the final second dawns, and so does the 3rd game of this series. They had the opportunity, Rhino. It was staring them right in the face. They just could not make the play.
If they get that goal, send us to OT in game 3, I mean, God knows what would have happened to Joker's mentality, because I know that would have annoyed me, to be honest with you. But at the end of the day, they do see out a 1-0 victory. Low scoring game, this one, but it's enough to send Dynasty Jokers 2-1 up in the series, and they're now halfway there to their preseason tournament victory. Redirects have some work to do, Vector, but maybe they just let Weaver have another game. Just warming up in that first game. Hopefully he can be more effective in game number 2.
11 shots to 1. That's crazy. I mean, Divine didn't even break 100 points, and they still managed to win the game. And it struggled on that defensive play as well. Left it wide open for Redirect there to try and get the equalizer, but it still wasn't enough. Despite the chances that Jokers are letting up for them here, they just didn't manage to take it. And I don't know if that's because they weren't expecting that kind of play to happen. I know it's Prospect, you've got to give them the benefit of the doubt. It's not the most consistent division, but at this level, and to get to the playoff final, they have to be a consistent enough team to get to this point. So you would expect that kind of gameplay to work for them, and they just didn't manage to do it. So now they're on the back foot once more, find ourselves in the same place we were after the first game. Joker's in the lead again. The ball is in Accelerate's court.
Yeah, it certainly is. It's Eclipse with a big dunk there off the backboard. It's Dogman. Oh, what a save. Jake is back and makes a huge stop early on in game number 4. It's going to be Eclipse trying to find this one across. It's away by Ruyan for the moment, and there you go, have it. Jake is back in for Weaver. So Redirect's just trying to get that one to work. Double touch won't be found. Dogman playing that third man will be able to find it out on halfway as he tries to get it across goals, sent clear by Dark, who will now start moving forwards for Redirect, but Divine intercepts for the moment off that side wall, looking for something more. It's Ruyan now who will take this one forwards, followed by Jake the Snake inside. It will be sent clear by Ruyan by the looks of things. A good interception by Eclipse, but I don't think there's too much else to say here. Jake's is going to prove me wrong. Good save by Dogman, away into the top left by Dark, but it's just going to be missing the mark, and Dogman tries to make a 50. It's over in the corner, and there's another chance for Dogman. He beats the defender, and with 1 minute and 15 seconds gone, Jokers are on the board, 1-0.
I keep getting really thrown off by the decals here, because the Dogman has a red and yellow decal, but it's on the blue side, so that's really messing with my mind when I see a goal there, thinking it's an own goal, but it's not, of course, as Jokers once again take the early lead. And whether or not they can hold on to it this time, well, are you going to want to flip the script here, Accelerate? Are you going to want to do the same things you've been doing? Or are you going to have to change? As Jake the Snake, as you said his name a couple of times there, has been subbed back in. They didn't want to stick with Weaver and see if it was just one game jitters, and actually see if they managed to improve there. They've wanted to change it back, go back to what they had before, and it might actually work out for them as Van Roon gets a chance. But it's blocked on the line here. Jake the Snake with a follow-up play as well. Plants it. Left side of the net. Easy as you like. Great finish and an equalizer they were desperate for.
Yeah, I knew exactly what he wanted to do there. Jackson finished it into the bottom left-hand corner. Assist from Ruyan as well. 111 kph is nothing to be scoffed at in Prospect here. You get a shot on target at that speed, it has a pretty solid chance of going in, to be honest with you, as it's going to be sent away for the moment. It's Eclipse now taking this one over the top of Ruyan, but Dark should be there. Gets past one, gets past the second, but in threes, there's always 3 defenders waiting to try and take that ball off you. Jakes tries to send it clear, and it will be finished off by Ruyan as Dogman pushes it towards the corner, not quite in the corner. It's intercepted by Ruyan once again, but this is going to be the sign for Jokers to start moving forwards. A demo coming out from Ruyan onto Dogman, though, could stop this attack in its tracks. And Divine says it will not. Into the middle, looking for the shot, gets a reset. Eclipse into the top right! And Eclipse, I think, followed in his own shot as well, and got the shot on the line to make sure that ball went over the line, and Joker's back ahead 2-1.
My mind was still lagging back to the fact the demo happened. I didn't even think there was any sort of physicality in this series at all. I think that was the first one I saw, but then that flashed before my eyes. A fake reset, it seemed like, there from Divine. I think he attempted to use it, but it didn't really matter as Eclipse followed up with the finish, and so will Divine attempt to here. That goes wide and begging. They still cannot find that elusive 2-goal lead, which I think, based on the way that the prior games have been going, would pretty much seal it at this point, as Divine wants to leave the ball for his second man. Eclipse to take it to the sidewall, and Ruyan expecting someone to be there, but they weren't, and it's going to be hurtling back down the field. Cannot be read by Dogman, but Eclipse will be there. Follow-up from Ruyan. Managed to get back and around in time, wrap to the defensive end, and gets that stop. So important for them to maintain it to just a 1-goal deficit, as I kept talking about throughout the entire series. But it's not going to be enough. They managed to get an equalizer. They just can't step beyond that and really get their offense working.
Yeah, it seems to be the case, as it's going to be Dark to send it downfield. Eclipse intercept massively. He doesn't really have the boost to deal with that one, so it's going to be Dogman now to collect, but both him... Oh my goodness, the 50! The dunk almost came through from Redirect. Not gonna... As you said, fortune is fickle, and on this occasion it favors Jokers for the moment, as Eclipse now taking a shot. It's off the backboard, needs a follow-up. will be sent clear by a combination of Redirect's defenders. As Divine now into the middle, but with 1 minute left on the clock, they're going to look to see this one off to the backboard. Divine can't turn it in. Eclipse will be given a chance off the backboard, needs to follow that one up, but Jake sends it clear. And still 2-1 with less than a minute. Redirect need to press the gas now.
I think the biggest difference I'm seeing between these two teams, at least in this game, is Joker's willingness to trust each other in positioning and rotation. I've seen it a lot of times where the first man just leaves the ball, just drives past it completely. Whether or not that's intentional, it's hard to say. We're not in the minds of the players, but you can see it every time the second man is ready and waiting for the follow-up play, if necessary, as two get pulled, but somehow they do actually manage to finish it. The first man didn't want to take the goal, just opted for the assist as Jake the Snake finally gets his name on the score sheet, and it's an equalizer to boot. Stayed in position, that's so important. Didn't immediately turn off ball cam, didn't immediately rotate, stayed in a dangerous area and got his just rewards for it. Once more, an equal game at the death. And it's getting more and more exciting because as the games go by, it gets more and more important. If Joker's managed to take this one in an overtime or a buzzer beater, then it would be match point. So this is crucial for Accelerate.
It really is, as Redirect's now up on the left-hand side. Of course, Jokers win this game, they will take series point, as you mentioned, but this ball is going to stay up in the air. It's moving back downfield from Darker Depth, and it will hit the ground. OT will be triggered, second one of the series, and it's a huge one. Jokers trying to take series point, and it's Redirects trying to tie up the series and lock in at least a game number 6 in this best of 7, which I know I would love to see between these two teams. It's Ruyan up the side, Dogman into the middle, looking for a teammate, not going to find it. Eclipse so close, but yet so far, and now the counter can come in from Redirect, but it's just one man on that counter attack, as Eclipse now trying to get this one down into the left-hand side. Jakes will try and deal with it, does push it over to the sidewall, gives a chance for Eclipse though. That one might drop in at the back post, dealt with by Ruyan, and it will be cleared away by Darker Depth, but only as far as Eclipse. And Joker's really trying to choke. Ow, that one might go over the line. It's going to be Eclipse. So much pressure, so much damage done by Jokers, and eventually it's enough to get the ball over the line. 3-2, and they take series point.
Eclipse with the dastardly double. Once again, Redirect fail to control their corners, control their backboard, make sure they have at least one man challenging the ball, if nothing more than that, getting in the face of their opponents, but they just leave that so much space for their opponents to work with, and that's what they do with it. They're willing and able to make those kinds of plays. We've seen it multiple times from Divine. Eclipse, as we just saw, is capable as well of those mechanics, of those dangerous solo plays, and that's something that Accelerate just didn't recognize quickly enough. And they did end up taking this one with 3-2 again. Another one-goal game, which, I mean, I want to say it's not surprising to see because these are theoretically the top two teams in the division based on prior matches. But based on how Jokers have been playing, they just seem so much more composed. They're marshalling the boost game so much better. They have much more solo play potential from what we've seen as well. And they just have a much more clear understanding of the kind of play that they want to do, and it's working wonders for them. Accelerate just seriously need to book their ideas up and change something. I know they made a substitution, didn't work. They gotta go back to the drawing board, it seems.
Yeah, and you mentioned also in that game number 3, the previous one, about the difference in shots, right? It was 11-1, I think, or something ridiculous in favor of Jokers. That one was perfectly even, 6 shots either side. So clearly, Redirects got some mojo. They got something back. It's now just about finding those shots on target rather than kind of just putting them around the goal at this point. Although saying that, Jokers still made 3 saves on the game, so only one of them was off target. It's just now about trying to make that work. Eclipse is going to get the first goal for Jokers again. Dynasty continue to get the opening goal in every single one of these games. And this one, Vector, may well be the last if Jokers can continue on this crusade.
Potential championship decider. Eclipse took the OT in the prior game, and now here on Neo Tokyo has taken the opener as well. The quickest they've scored throughout the entire series, I believe, even after I think the 10 seconds after the first goal in the first game. So they've seriously settled into their playstyle here, full of confidence, pushing forward. But sometimes hubris can be your downfall. perhaps Accelerator banking on that, but they really cannot rely on it so much because, well, the onus is on them. They have to be the ones that push forward and take this by the scruff of the neck. And as you said, it's potentially the last goal we might see of this entire series.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the more worrying things if you are a Redirect fan, is that now they've really got to come out of their shell. What happened there?
I think they're going to be crawling and receding into their shell, welding it shut at this point.
Divine gets the shot. It was a fall.
Divine hit the touch, but it was just a calamity between two defenders. The clearance was attempted, but someone was in the wrong place at the wrong time. And finally, we see a 2-goal game. At the very end, potentially.
We do, as Jokers now look to really put their foot on the throat of Redirect, say, we don't want this game to go 7. We want this game done and dusted right here and right now. Eclipse off the backboard. Dogman to collect. Does get the shot. It's going to be wayward over into the corner as a big 50 by Divine. Eclipse coming in from deep. Won't hit that one, and it will be cleared away by Ruyan and will win the 50 as well. So Divine having to do a lot of work here, but having to be careful about where this ball ends up, and looks like he did do the job. It's Jakes to put this one back in. Eclipse down the right-hand side. Can he find the passing field? Yes, he can. So Dogman takes a shot. Good save by Ruyan for the moment on about the halfway mark. Plays a pinch in towards Jakes, who's off the corner. It's away by Eclipse, who will now try and follow in that pass, but it's intercepted by Dark, who now might have a second bite of the cherry. Away by Divine for the moment. Jakes inside. Divine playing a really nice 50, but now it's Redirect suddenly dictating the pace. They have all of the possession, but it's going back down the other end. The counter-attack could be devastating from Jokers. It's saved at the last moment, but better from Redirect at this point, Vector.
And it's going to have to be better than better if they're going to have any chance here, because Dogman's put the third through. Top right bins. Stoppable, very stoppable there. As the two defenders just waiting for the shot to come through, but the boost game was just not quite there for them. They were both off the pace, and it seems like the Joker's just running away with it at this point. As I said at the beginning of the game, they just seem so much more settled in, confident, and sure of the way that they want to play. And it's working wonders for them. Accelerate, looking to stop a fourth here, managed to do so, but Divine just keeps it in that danger area, stuck here in the corner, trying to rotate out, and Eclipse and Dogman push together as second and third, so this does give some space for Accelerate to break out. Dark to the backboard, easily stuffed. So simple for them to get rid of these plays. Jokers, Accelerate, they just throw the ball away rather than trying to control it and develop something. They just hit and hope, which, I mean, at this point, they're throwing everything at the board and just hoping something sticks, but clearly that's not working. As a 3-goal deficit with less than half the game to go. I don't want to say that it's over, Rhino, but the writings start to appear on the wall.
I don't think anyone can say that it's over yet. Stranger things have happened in Prospect. There's no doubt about that. The game can change on a dime, and there might be... Oh, my goodness. It hit the post. We all hold our breath there for a moment. Jakes will keep the ball in Joker's territory as Dark tries to get this one across. Ruyan will take a shot away by Eclipse for the moment, as Eclipse will follow in his boom ball off the backboard. Chance for Dogman, over jumps it, and now Ruyan's going to come back down the other end, off the corner, into the middle. Who will be there? It's Ruyan, who just can't make it work. Jakes still has possession in the corner, looking to get this one moving forwards. It's Dark into the corner once again. No boost to speak of. It will bounce awkwardly, but Dogman will be there with the clearance. Jakes turns, collects, catches, moves forwards. It's popped up. There is a chance for Ruyan if he can find a double. Won't be there as the ball fades into the midfield, and it looks like Jokers have been able to deter this attack once again. And Vector, every second that goes by, it's looking more and more like the Prospect Tier preseason tournament has been decided.
It's just another nail in the coffin as the seconds tick away. And they were starting to get a little bit better, Accelerate there, with their control of the pressure going forward, staying in Joker's half for more and more time, every single stint that they had on offense, but just feels like it's too little too late. 3 goals, 30 seconds. Well, we talked about fortune being fickle. Lady Luck does not smile upon you if you're not willing to put in the work. It's a great flick though by Van Uren. It's just still not enough. Eclipse is back in time. That third man always been stalwart, ready to stop anything that this Redirect offense has attempted to develop, but It's just not going to be enough. The seconds tick away. It's done and dusted. Jokers and Dynasty will be your first victors of the night, champions of the pre-season prospect playoff finals. It's I mean, the way that this series started and the way that it developed going into game 2 and 3, it felt so exciting. It felt so dynamic and open. And just the end of it, it's, I mean, like I said, the writing was on the wall. It was just too simple, too basic for Jokers. It was too easy for them, and it seems like they've had the final laugh.
It did feel like a little bit anticlimactic in that final game. The writing was on the wall. I think basically the minute that second goal goes in for Jokers, Redirect had been able to stay in games by getting those equalizers very early on and staying within one. But here we go, the stats for the entire series. Of course, Jokers 4-1 victors over Redirect. And the big thing that you want to look at on that there is the shots. 42 shots across a 5-game series to Redirect's 23, almost double the shots. Just goes to show how much domination Jokers had.
Everything but saves in their favor, as obvious as it might seem. The goals, only 6 goals difference, which is not crazy, but it is still important. All the things like ball possession, field domination, things like that. It was an incredible series, but it is over. The past is the past. The present is the present. Right now, we're back with Greybeard. Do you have any clear thoughts for that one? I know that you love the prospect division, the chaos that it can cause, but that one kind of went muted towards the end.
Well, listen, it was a very close series, and I thought it was an incredibly entertaining series, but I was surprised by the lack of confusion and chaos that you generally expect from Prospect. I thought
Still moments.
There absolutely, and without those moments, it would be terrible. But overall, right? I thought these guys played really, really well. There was some pretty sexy looking Rocket League going on there.
I totally agree. I was taken aback by quite a few of the plays that some of these guys were coming out with. Some of the double touches, we saw a flip reset. There was a lot of mechanics in there that, with a little bit of refinement, with a little bit of consistency, these players really could be, working their way up the ranks. Maybe players for the future. So, really impressed by what we've seen here in the prospect tier, and I'm sure both of these teams will have a great regular season in the RSC.
Now, I'm not going to be putting you on the spot as I said I might at the beginning, only because we didn't get to see all the players of all the rosters, so it's a little unfair to make that call. But Vector, I don't know if there was any particular players that stood out to you on either side. If there was anything that stood out to you in terms of player performance.
Well, there's certainly the bias of the fact that the Jokers won. It was a 4-1 series, and you can call out like Clips and Divine. Their mechanics seemed higher than the level that they were at least the attempt of it. To have that level of confidence in a division it's not expected from you, you would think that it'd be difficult for them to even attempt that kind of thing. But they have that exuberance and that boisterousness. So I think in that regard, Jokers overall, I think, were the better team. Van Rooyen, I think, on the opposite side, on Accelerate, played very much more composed than his teammates. Not to diss his teammates necessarily, but he seemed to stand out more, had a lot of the plays on the ball that caused problems for Jokers throughout much of the series, and I think he was one of the brighter shining lights for that side. But overall, as you said, it was a close series, as it was supposed to be. The dogs theoretically in the prospect division, and I just enjoyed it thoroughly. So commiserations to Accelerate. They don't necessarily need to hang their heads. They did well, and congratulations to Jokers, of course.
It was a great series and very close throughout. And let's keep in mind that the first Jokers didn't take the first. Accelerate won that first game, so it could have been a lot closer. But it did seem as the series went on, they got their noses in front of the Jokers and then just seemed to pull away as it went on. But that is the end of Prospect. Congratulations to the Jokers from Dynasty for being our Prospect pre-season champions. A lot of league play ahead, so no time to rest on your laurels. We move now to the rival tier, one tier up, and our next best of 7 grand finals. And Rhino, Vector, I'm going to leave you guys to talk about it.
Thank you very much, Greybeard. Yes, onwards and upwards to the rival preseason playoff finals. Viola versus Bravo Force, as you can see here, DSQ and Critical Force respectively. And well, as much as I enjoyed Prospect, I do like the fact that we're moving on to potentially more consistency, potentially more mechanics here right now. That's just my personal bias. I still enjoyed the Prospect division, but I'm expecting this one to be a little bit tougher level of competition.
Yeah, I think Rival tier is one of those tiers where you really do get a flavor of absolutely everything. When you start moving up into Elite and Master, you feel the consistency, you feel the consistent level of those plays, of those mechanics. Obviously, in the Prospect, we saw that it is completely unpredictable, but Rival has a little bit of everything, I feel. You get a flavor for exactly where kind of like the average, what we would call like competitive player is, right? Where we would probably see the most people being at the level where they're comfortable playing in a competitive manner. And you can see how they got here, of course. Viola, of course, did beat Prolific 3-2. That one is listed there as 2-2, but it was 3-2 to Viola in the end to get to this point. And Bravo Force 3-1 victors over UnitOx. So, I mean, Vector, again, two teams that are really going to look to try and make the most of this chance they have. Both, once again, coming from Group A, by the way. I don't know what was in the water in Group A, but it just seems that in every division, they seem to be the people that are in the finals. But yeah, DSQ, Critical Force, two fantastic seasons as far as, not seasons, but tournaments in the groups. How do you see this one going?
Well, I touched on it before in the Prospect division, as you said, both of them coming from Group A. Very, very similar situation. 1 game win between them. Well, Viola had 3 game wins, Bravo Force had 2. And the goal difference, a little bit different. Viola had 45 goals scored, Bravo Force had 29, but they actually had more goals conceded as well. So I'm expecting this one to go quite similarly to the way that the Prospect division match went. And for the same reason, Viola 3-1 Bravo Force in the preseason group stage. So based on all that, again, the foundation, it's going to be a very similar situation in this grand final. But kicking off, there's no way to know. Here on the new map, Driftwoods, we see Viola versus Bravo Force at the beginning of the rival playoffs, and what is happening? It's the very same thing once again. They've done it even quicker this time right now. The team at the top has scored first instantaneously, basically, in terms of Rocket League, and what a way to start for them.
Yeah, a 6-second kickoff goal to get things underway in game number 1 of this best of 7 in the rival tier preseason tournament grand final. And goodness gracious, Ender's looking for a second inside 10 seconds there. Not going to find it on this occasion, as it will now be a chance for Nerfquake trying to find this one away by Flashy. That one is falling in, but it will be Ender once again to clear it away. Papatinho trying to get this one, which, by the way, I'm sure I will never mispronounce in the entirety of this series. It's Flashy moving down the line, getting a reset, but it's Nerf to send it away. And with just over 30 seconds gone outside of the early goal, it's been a relatively even start to this game, and there it is! Papatinho proving my point, getting the equalizer, and we do have a very even game.
I start calling him Pappy if he continues to play that well, as he barrels his way through pretty much all 3 defenders. First man was nowhere to be seen, and then he just fights his way past the second and the third, not wanting to be outshone by this Viola side. An equal game once more. Very, very similar start to this rival final as it was in the Prospect division. Whether or not it goes the same way, time shall tell, as she always does. But it seems like both sides are ready to go. Well, ready to go. I mean, usually, at least in my experience, you would play on the hour, so you'd think they'd be waiting, or they'd be doing a scrim right now. But they were ready to go at this point, so they're probably hot and just wanted to get on with it. Essentially, it seems like they're not. They don't need any time to get into it. They're clearly fully into it. As once more Viola score. Ender this time pops it just above the defenders, crossbar down and in off the post as well. I think it's a nice finish, and it does get them that crucial lead back. And that's exactly the way that they want to be playing. That back and forth kind of thing can be risky, but from what we've seen of the stats, that's exactly this kind of team that this team is.
Yeah, absolutely is. They now are 2-1 up. DSQ, they're going to look to maintain that lead this time and not give up the equalizer. However, it's going to be Papatinho looking for his second of the game, maybe off the backboard. Needs help! And help he finds! Amaru comes through with the response immediately. 2-2 on the board, and this time it's just a beat in the air. Nerfquake looks back in the net to see the ball flying into it. 2-2, Critical Force responding.
It wasn't already obvious just how much quicker and how much sharper this level of play is in comparison. We got that amazing play from Vapi, the setup, and then the finish from Amiro, the follow-up, because they just know. They know where they need to be at the right place, at the right time, and get that equalizer back once more. Of course, they're going to be wanting to get a goal ahead of time themselves as Papi picks up the brace, gets a goal of their own, and clearly starting to really cement themselves as the one to watch in this series. Gets a touch over the top, and just that little sneaky rotation as the first man that you can play. If you've got the boost and you call off your teammates, you can really get into some awful positions, real thorn in the side of a lot of defenses that aren't quite ready for it. Managed to get one there and get the first lead for Bravo Force in this series as well.
Yeah, it's going to be Ender now trying to get this one clear. Doesn't do so. Flyaware is going to be able to send it clear, but it's back in from Flashy. Dealt with off the backboard by Nerfquake just about, but there's still a lot of pressure coming in from Bravo Force. Till eventually Flyaware sends that one back down the line for Viola as it comes off the corner. Dealt with by Papi for the moment, but he needs to be careful about where he puts this one, and it's collected by Ender. Has Nerfquake in sight. They both go for it. Double commit from Viola, and those comms not quite as crisp as you would want to see, but again, this is a preseason tournament. Time still to iron that one out. That you are playing in a grand final, though. You need to make sure you are communicating effectively. Ender almost playing that one into the path of the Critical Force striker, but hang on, Flyaware's got a shot here. It's away by Papi, and will not be Ender on that side. It'll be Flashy to send it clear, though, and Bravo Force just trying to cement their lead at the moment with 1:50 on the clock. Papi looking for that one off the backboard. Chance for Amaru following in, just not on target, and Viola should be able to send that one away.
Backboard's going to start to get bruised if Bravo Force hit it anymore. Viola send it there as well. Papatinho not managed to find his hat-trick. Will be hunting for it, I am certain. Amiro just trying to keep this into a dangerous place. There's no third man. They went for boost. It's going to be so easy for Amiro to get back to this, pick up their brace. And that's just, I mean, I don't know if it's bad communication. It was a great play from Amiro to keep that pressure on, as I was mentioning. It's sometimes if you just, right there, you can get the ball between you and a defender and just hook it into those little lanes that the defense is not expecting to deal with. And now a 2-goal lead, the first of the game and of the series, and it's gone the way of Bravo Force, really consolidating that control on the front foot on the other half of the field, and Viola starting to crumble a little bit.
Yeah, they are, as it's going to be a chance here for Amaru, looking for that pass across the field. It's back in from Bravo Force, sent clear by Ender, and I did mention earlier the communication issues that Viola were having, and it looks like it's come back to haunt them once again. Flashy trying to get something on this. 50s flying around all over the place. Flashy still has possession. Looks for another touch. Does find it. Will be sent clear by Flyaware. But Amaru tried to just knock that back to Papatinho, who can't get on the end of it. Will have to go back towards his own corner in order to send this one back down towards the Viola half. There's a big bomb came through. Chance for Flashy. Open net. 5-2. Wrap it up. Go game 2.
Flashy boy. Not been quite that throughout this game, but has managed to get his name on the score sheet. All 3 players on Bravo Force contributing to the offense here. And it's been at the behest, the cost of Viola's defense, and their positioning has been wayward. I mean, of course, they have to push forward. They have to be risky. They have to make those difficult decisions going forward, as Papatinho finally gets the hat-trick he was looking for. They have to make those plays where the second man or the third man pushes early, because they're at a deficit. They were 2 goals down. They have to go forward and they have to risk it. But that can just leave you so much more vulnerable, so much more wide open to these difficult to deal with plays. As you said, it is just go next. It's a 4-goal deficit. There's nothing more you could do but steel yourself for the next game and try and stop this from seeping into your psyche and making you think, okay, we're struggling. What do we need to change? But don't change too much. If you try and go into a moment of upheaval, you know, an earthquake, so to speak, then generally it's going to do more damage than good. So we'll just have to see if Viola are that kind of team, if they get down on themselves in the situation, but remind themselves it's a best of 7. They have plenty of time to remedy this. But an opening salvo from Bravo Force there is exactly as their name implies. A great start for them, but it's been so many times in series that I've played in where I wished I could transfer goals from game to game. I've just scored a bunch in one, and scored barely any in another, and maybe that'll end up being the situation for Bravo Force, but it started out as quite an even game, so I don't expect this scoreline to be the norm going forward.
I mean, you look at field domination, I mean, that is pretty much as even as it gets without going 50-50, right? So DSQ had more of the field domination, and I don't think they'll feel bad about the way that they were playing. Just that defense didn't stand up. I mean, even saying that, though, they did still make 6 saves, and they lost 6-2. That should really tell you all that you need to know.
Yeah, I think the extra goals, I think beyond the 4th goal for Bravo Force, it was more just a matter of fact that Viola knew they had to go out on offense. Defense was just an afterthought. It doesn't matter how much you lose by necessarily, especially in a final. That goal difference only matters in league play. So once you've got to that point, it is more about just trying to get your offense working. And it didn't quite manage to happen in that game, but they get to reset. And going forward, hopefully they have changed up their mentality in that regard. And it'd be interesting to see if Bravo Force continue to play like this, to continue to push and not give any respect to their opponents. It seemed to work in the first game. Whether or not that does going forward, we'll have to see. But an entertaining start, at least for Critical Force fans.
Absolutely, a very entertaining start. And game number 2 is kicking off right now as Viola, you know, are going to want to get back into the game. Looking to start quickly, which they did in game number 1. 6-second goal, remember, in that game 1 for Viola, which they ended up losing 6-2 unbelievably. After that point, Flyaware down the right-hand side. The top salary player on Viola is Flyaware as Nerfquake now collects this one on the left-hand side. Papatino sending it clear to play this one off a teammate, keeping the ball in his possession, over jumping it, bottom left-hand corner. What a save from Flyaware to keep the scoreline level early on in game 2.
Another demo there on a defending player, leaves some space for Ender, but it's just curtailed ever so slightly by one of the defenders here. Bravo Force managed to hold on in this opening minute. We did see the first goal conceded by them. Viola 4 seconds in, very much changed it up here and recognized the error that they made at that time. Kickoffs can be so dangerous. But Ender here with, well, had plenty of boost, but not so much now as it gets to the end of the play. Wasn't able to do much more with it and leave it to a Bravo Force defender. And now going back down the field as well. Flashy Boy managed to get past 2. A whiff from Papatino is followed up by the 3rd man. Amiro was risking it there, and it has allowed some space for Viola, but they don't manage to capitalize on it and still control in the favor of Bravo Force.
Yeah, it's going to be a chance here off the backboard. Papatino trying to turn on it. Flywell will be able to clear that one away, but it's picked up by Flashy. Has an open net to aim at, and the demo on the back lines proves a big problem for Viola as Bravo Force take the lead. There's the demo. No 3rd man back. Nerfquake tried to get across in time, just wasn't able to. And Critical Force, they take the lead in game 2, and they look to try and go 2-0 up on the series.
Viola's backline continues to be an open safari. The Bravo Force could just shoot at will. And I was so surprised to see the camera pan over and it just be a completely empty net. I knew there was a demo, but I thought at least the 3rd man might be near the back post or something like that. But wide open. And Bravo Force continue their dominance now. I believe that's 5 goals unanswered.
Yeah.
So Viola seriously need to think about what they're doing here.
Something that we do obviously need to discuss, which kind of has been brought up in chat as well, is the fact that the SQ are currently not playing with their starting roster. Tubbsy would normally be playing with them instead of Nerfquake. And so this is not necessarily a substitution because, you know, all of these players have been drafted and I'm sure they will be used throughout the regular season. But it's not the foot forward that DSQ would have wanted to put forwards. And it's Critical Force, who are absolutely taking advantage of that, almost with another double touch there from Amaru. Not going to find it on this occasion as the ball falls to the back post. The combination of two DSQ players sends that one clear, but only as far as Amaru, who was waiting for it. Not a lot of boost. In fact, 0 in the tank, and won't be able to get any damage done on the DSQ net. But it's worth prefacing this game with that. Normally, Tubbsy would be in, and DSQ would probably maybe be having a little bit of a better time of it, but it's a good test for the substitute.
I don't typically respond to the hive mind that is Twitch chat, but I'll bite on this one. To be fair, the chain is only as strong as its weakest link. You know, if you can't rely on your quote-unquote fourth man, or the rotational playstyle that a lot of teams utilize, because of the rules, you do have to play a certain amount of games, each player, to qualify for playoffs. So they have to be able to rely on their fourth man, even if the situation isn't quite the best. They need to be able to still play to a certain level. And I don't think it's necessarily the best reasoning. And I think it's an opportunity, especially for NerfQuake here, to show his stuff and actually prove that a better player than people might be assuming, this just based on CMV. It's not the be-all, end-all. There are so many intangibles in Rocket League, so many things that aren't recorded by statistics that can determine the qualities of a player. And right now in this situation, they managed to hold them back. 6-2, the last game ended, is still 1-0 with a minute left to go. Viola very much still in this series, their starting roster or not.
Yeah, absolutely. It's definitely an improvement as this ball will find its way in field. Ender going by, chance for Flyaware to try and get something on there. Just not able to do so. Ball around the corner, it's Papatino now sending it down the right-hand side. Ball in the middle, chance for Flashy. Ender gets across just in time and NerfQuake makes the save, but he drops it down for Papatino, who will double the lead for Critical Force. And for everything we were just trying to say about NerfQuake maybe putting himself in the shop window, I'm not sure he's going to be especially expensive after that one.
I mean, it was just a calamity of errors there. There was a team bump on the back post that forced the third man out of position, was not able to get there to stop the shot coming through. So it was multiple things that led to that concession there, and especially at this point in the game, it's going to be very, very difficult to come back from. Big demo there for Ender onto Amiro. Does give them a little bit of space to try and break out in these final 10 seconds. They have to be more consistent with their touches, however, as NerfQuake can only send it to the sidewall. Ender will not be back in time, make it 3. Some garbage goals, as you might call these, at the very end of the game, where it really doesn't matter how much the scoreline doesn't favor you. They've just managed to consolidate once more, Bravo Force, going forward. And it's just the strength of their backs, it seems like here, that they're able to carry themselves forward. And holding on to a 1-goal lead, as risky as it can be, it's also sort of a laughing in the face of your opponent that, okay, we've only got 1 goal and we can hold you to that. We don't need to score more. And then at the very end, they make the insult added to injury, and the fact that they've made it a 3-goal game now. So for Viola, it's very much just a mental reset. We assume that would have to happen after the first game anyway. The fact that they haven't been able to do it here on Sovereign Heights, things are starting to look a little bit less certain for them and a little bit more concerning going forward. But we see their field domination, 70% to 30, which are the percents the opposite there? I'm confused about the positioning of those numbers, but the numbers are clear. 70 to 30% is an incredible departure from the first game. And I'm surprised to see it's ended up that way.
I think it's the numbers that are backwards rather than the graph. I would imagine Critical Force will come out with the majority of the field possession, field domination there. And you just need to look at those stats to prove it. I mean, they only had 5 shots in the game, but scoring 3 is still pretty impressive. And the other 2 were, of course, saved by Ender and Flyaware. So, yeah, DSQ, you mentioned there that those goals at the end of the game don't really matter. I personally have a different view. I kind of disagree, where I think DSQ, if they were able to at least get a goal in that final minute, if they were able to get something, obviously they're pushing forwards, and if they concede, sure, it's not really a problem because they know they're putting all their eggs in the offense basket. But if DSQ were able to at least get a goal, give them some momentum going into the next game, I feel like that is such a coming together, right? You start to feel all of a sudden there's hope, there's something we can do, and we know we can score now. We've just got to go and do it a load more times in game 3 to start coming back. And Unfortunately, it didn't happen in this game. We hope game number 3 goes a different way. DSQ, it's down to them to try and get this game back. 2-0 at the moment to Critical Force, and they've scored first in game 3. Was it quicker than the first one? No, 6 seconds once again. But it's Amaru challenging Ender, and it's a calamity in defense, 1-0.
I don't even get the time to respond to posit on the psychology of the game and everything behind that, because, you know, Bravo forced to just score when they like, and they're going to attempt to do so again here. It was an own goal, unfortunately, for Nerfquake's sake. Puts it into the back of his own net and allows Bravo Force to control this series once more. The ball is firmly in Viola's court, and they're not happy about that. They don't seem to want possession. Based on field domination and based on the scorelines as well, as they get through 2. Ender, instead, putting words in my mouth. The words are that he's great at this game, apparently. He managed to get past 1 and then just bullies his way past the second man into the back of the net, getting an equalizer, and that is crucial. I can finally segue back into the psychology of the game, the mentality of giving yourself that morality boost, galvanizing your way forward. And it is important just scoring a goal to know that you can, that your offense is still able to produce something. I just meant for the sake of Bravo Force at the very end, they didn't need those last 2 goals. They were just there as an insult, just a way to try and get under Viola's skin, and that might have worked. But based on that equalizer, based on the way that they're starting to play here in this third game, that may not be the case. We'll just have to see if they can press on and really push that advantage, or if Bravo Force are going to reply in such strong fashion as an attempt to double tap from Papatino. That was outrageous, but it did not quite work.
Yeah, if he was able to right that ship, I'd have been very, very impressed. This ball gets sent downfield. It's Flosee who goes by, but so does Nerfquake. Papatino with another chance. Wanted another double touch. You know, if he keeps trying it, eventually one of these will work. Flyaware trying to get the interception. It's back down the other end from Flosee, who is up in the air, gets the reset, but it's not in the direction that he would have wanted. Double commit there from the other 2 members of Bravo Force, and Flyaware should be able to send this one clear, and does. Intercepted by Flosee off the backboard. No double touches to be found. Amaru takes a shot, and it's gonna be a goal for Critical Force. They score their second of the game. Flosee went by. I thought that was it, but Amaru says no. The top sal on Critical Force, proving the point. 2-1.
Unfortunate mechanical error there from Viola's defense. Ender had plenty of boosts, knew exactly what they needed to do, but just couldn't quite force their fingers to. And once more, that goal restores Bravo Force's lead. iFlyaware trying to get that equalizer once more, did it all themselves, but couldn't quite put it between the sticks. Zamiro down the other end. Most recent goal scorer attempting to find the third for Bravo Force will be denied eventually by Ender, and now back down the other side of the field, potentially helped out by Papatino, but it's just going to be a pass across to Amiro. They're taking their time with this one, left a lot of space for Viola to try and exploit that. But didn't quite manage to work out as a demo onto Flosee Boy, left a lot of space. Papatino whiffs it completely, and we're starting to see a few cracks here in Bravo Force's consistency of the touches that they're making. That was just dropped down to, who knows, it could have been anybody on the end of that. And this time it's iFlyaware to hit the left-hand post. The uprights are rattling, and still not enough for an equalizer for DSQ.
Yeah, but they are putting a very, very good foot forwards in this game number 3. They are playing significantly better than they did in game 2, that's for sure. Amaru down the left-hand side into the corner. It's going to be away by Ender, and Amaru's been taken out for all his trouble. Ender cuts inside, looking for someone to follow that one in. Flyaware was there, but so was Flosee. As now Amaru starts moving back down the other end of the field. Ender over to the far side, gets past 2, and does get the better of that second man again. Amaru struggling, bumping net, but no one there on the follow-up. And maybe do you think, Vector, that's part of the mentality at the moment? No. Hang on a moment, that's a pass across. Goodness. It's Amaru with another goal. The Frenchman scores again. And Vector, my question was going to be, do you think that Viola not pushing a second man forwards is part of their mentality at this point?
I think you just had your question answered for you right there, Rhino. I didn't even need to bother, because that was a 3-man passing play into their own net. And I don't want to knock them. I don't want to kick them while they're down in that situation. But that was they just didn't seem to understand where they wanted to take the ball there. I mean, you already mentioned it. Yeah, the second man has to push in that situation. They have to trust that they have the third man behind them to cover if the play goes wrong. That's the whole thing with 3v3. You have to be able to push up, have that confidence and that belief in your team that you can make those risky plays. I think a lot of people just get so used to playing doubles and 2v2 that they don't want to risk it. They don't want to be the one to make that mistake. And then a mistake is made once more here by Ender, misses off the backboard, was under a lot of pressure and on low boost as well. But the situation, the result is that it's a 3-goal lead once more for Bravo Force. And sort of semi-answering your question, yeah, it has to come down to the mentality. They're making a conscious decision to not push forward, to be more passive and more defensive, and it has been their downfall.
Yeah, it certainly has, as it's Papatino down the left-hand side, intercepted by Flyaware, but not all the way. Looking for Amaru, sent clear by Ender for the moment, as it will be cleared fully by Viola at this point. Flyaware, though, demoed for his trouble, which will leave an easy clear for Papatino down the other end, although he plays it back inside. Nerfquake's waiting. Flyaware comes back in off the backboard, needs another man to be there. Just not happening for DSQ, whether it's communication, whether it's the style of play, whatever it happens to be. I thought Nerfquake there was going to put into his own net at that point. It's Flashy sending it clear. Ender looking for something to drop for them, but it will be pushed away, and you could get the feeling that it is going to be series point to Critical Force, and I think that is exactly how it's going to go, as 5 seconds will start counting down. Maybe just one for the road for Critical Force. No, Nerfquake sends it away. Ball hits the floor. And it's Critical Force with 4, count them, 4 tournament points.
Oh my goodness. What worse situation could you hope to, or expect to find yourself in, to hope not to be in, than being on the edge, the sword hanging over you 4 potential times. They have to win every single game. A reverse sweep will be necessary for them to end up taking this. Just based on the way that the last 3 games have gone, I cannot see it happening. As much as I want it to, as much as I want that drama and that insanity to occur, it's just so difficult. And I think something that encapsulates something that encapsulates what is going on with Viola's mindset is, avoiding danger is no safer in the long run than outright exposure. The fearful are caught as often as the bold, so you just have to push forward and just not care. I mean, sometimes that's what it comes down to. A lot of people consider it monkeying and thinking that that's a bad way to play, but they have decided to make a decision here, a timeout. Something that, this is the only time they can make it. Realistically, they have to change something, and they need that extra bit of time to really retool and recalibrate exactly what they're planning to do, because nothing's been working.
No, nothing's been working, and I think it's a good call, and it's also a good idea to get yourself in the mindset of taking timeouts. We see it so many times across RSC, across the world, right? EU, SSA, NA, doesn't make a difference. A lot of teams are adverse to taking that timeout, taking that minute to just sit back and think about exactly what it is that they're going to push forwards with in the series. Is it a little bit late? Would we have liked to have seen it after game 2? I'm not sure. But at the same time, they've called it before it's too late, at least, right? They still have time to right the ship. They still have time to get this one back. And Vector doesn't look 100% sure on that one. Maybe
if it's there, use it. Obviously, this is essentially the last time they can use it, unless they win a game and then go for timeout. But there's nothing they can do. This is the last time, realistically, that they should use it. Whether or not it's too late, I think, is down to debate. You'll come across different teams, different coaches that decide whether or not it's better to call it early or call it late. But their backs are against the wall. They have no tricks left, and they need to start baring their teeth and really getting into the faces of their opponents here, because as you said, nothing else is working. Start just playing the way that they're playing. Do what they do. Perhaps that will work. And I just hope that they manage to, at the very least, put on a show and maybe get an overtime, something like that.
Yeah,
that would be
remember, the timeout isn't just for DSQ, right? Critical Force have now had a minute to cool off, to start to maybe come down from the high that they've been getting after winning those first 3 games. It slows the momentum, exactly. So it could be a good decision. It could also not change anything that's happening in this game. And it's a finish there from Bravo Force. Amaru, who else to get the first goal of the game?
And just like boxing, everybody's got a plan until they get hit in the face.
Yeah.
Right? You can do all you want, the preparation beforehand and in the middle of the game, take a timeout, whatever you like. It doesn't matter if you don't implement the ideas that you're considering, and you've got to be able to adapt to change on the fly. And that's something that we've clearly been demonstrated Viola cannot do, whether or not that is down to their personal playstyle, the way that they go, or just Bravo Force completely countering it, neutering it. It's hard to tell, and you'd have to go to a post-series analysis, a deep dive into exactly what all the factors come together to make these results occur. But from what I've seen, it is just Bravo Force being the stronger team, being the better of every single play, and Viola being second fiddle.
Yeah, seems that way as it's going to be iFlyAware looking for this one. It's going to be sent clear by Flashy Boy for the moment. Viola looking to try and defend this one. Flashy Boy gets past one defender, tries to beat a second. Very nearly a lovely solo goal, but ow, Viola can come up the other end. Off the backboard, FlyAware going to try and keep the pressure on. It's inside from Nerfquake, but it's sent clear by Bravo Force for the moment. FlyAware down on that right-hand side, looking for the pass back. Should be an equalizer, and it's Ender to score. Captain Fantastic there again for DSQ, and 1-1. Maybe that timeout was genius.
Excellent play here from FlyAware. Recognized that there was no one in the corner, no one on the backboard. If he goes quick enough, he can get that into a dangerous area before the defense even knows how to react. And Ender in exactly the right place to finish it off. That equalizer is so important as Miro tries to get this one through, sneak it under the defense, and it is wayward. And it allows Viola to breathe for just that little bit more time. As somehow Nerfquake was off the side wall trying to get a touch across. I couldn't see it based on the camera angles. This was sent hurtling back down the field. The long bomb puts it back in the favor of Bravo Force. And this one, I mean, it's the risk that you run. Ender took this off the corner, assuming, I think, that there was going to be a third man, that there was going to be a rotation there. And it just wasn't quite enough. That communication breakdown has led to another lead secured for Bravo Force, and the same problems continue to plague this DSQ side.
Yeah, they do. No third man back is going to cause them big problems, and this one is going to be sent clear by FlyAware as we know Viola wants to get back into this game pretty sharply. Ender over onto that right-hand side. It will be sent clear by Papitino, collected by Ender, and FlyAware very nearly went by, but was able to right the ship. Now moving inside, looking for that equalizer. Flashy to send it clear for the moment. Nerfquake looking to intercept on halfway. Does enough to put it over onto the far side. Ender still has possession. Not a lot of boost, though. Papitino will be able to deal with that one. Now Papitino moving down, looking for the shot. There's no one in net, Vector. There's no one back. And Papitino off the ceiling finds the bottom right-hand corner. And Bravo Force, I think, have found the preseason tournament victory.
And all I care about is figuring out why. Why was there no one back there? Is this personal, mechanical error? Is this misrotation? Was there a team bump that we didn't quite see just in the periphery? I mean, whatever the result, whatever the case, the result is the same. It is another 2-goal lead for Papitino, not even having to do anything in the final points of that aerial play. There's another chance goes begging for Viola. Too little, too late. It could end up being as Flashy Boy just attempted to flash that across the face of goal. Good. Into the net if possible. Amiro with the double tap attempt will just about be stopped, but I mean, look, this defensive touches, no one's ready to follow up, and Bravo Force, they don't even need to be there. They don't even push because they just know there's no threat. There's no opportunity for a counterattack from DSQ, that they don't have to worry about it. They could just get back into position, get all their tanks full, and they're strolling. This is a Sunday drive for Bravo Force right now, and as much as I hate to say it, that is the truth. The proof is in the pudding right now, and Viola, well, it's left a bad taste in their mouth.
Yeah, there's another chance from Flashy. It's a double committing goal from DSQ, but at that point, as long as the ball's kept out of the net, your job's done, but it won't be kept out of the net for very long at all. The brace found for Captain Pappy, and he will fire that one into the bottom of the net. Great work, 100 kph, but it's all about the placement splits the uprights, not just of the posts, but of the two defending DSQ players. And that is 4-1 to Bravo Force with just over a minute on the clock. A sweep in the grand final, we said it in prospects here, is not something that we particularly want to see. But unfortunately, it looks like the result that we are going to get here in Rival Series. It's another chance for Flosee. Won't find it on this occasion. Amaru's going to look for his hat trick, flying through the air, and it will be sent clear by Ender for the moment. 40 seconds left on the clock. I get the feeling that both of these teams might be checked out of this game number 4.
Yeah, I don't think it's left the DSQ half in the last 2 minutes. I think this might be about the first time. Nope, still on the halfway line. No, it's finally over. Okay, yeah. And I don't want to pile it on. They're already in an awful situation, but it is just the difficulty of a situation like this when you cannot find a way back, when you cannot claw any ground beyond the ones that you already had. It just, you continue, your opponent in this instance just continues to dig you deeper into the hole, and the light starts to fade and it all just turns to black as a double commit whiff there from Earthquake and Fly Away. They know it's all over, so I assume they're not taking it as seriously as they might have been before. But it's such a strange situation. The whole thing is overarched by the fact that Viola beat Bravo Force in the preseason group, and of course they probably played with Tubbsy with their main roster player, and it is the fact that Earthquake is the lowest player in terms of CMB on the team, the quote-unquote sub. So maybe it is just the case that they weren't used to playing with him, and they hadn't played as much with him or practiced enough with him, and it's hurt them in this situation. I don't know what the reason is that Tubbsy was unable to play today, but you can't deny that it's probably a contributing factor to this result. And it's so unfortunate to see how much closer this could have been if that wasn't the case.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's a couple of benefits here. I mean, to DSQ, of course, because you have to think about the fact that this is a preseason tournament. This is just to get people acquainted with each other. This is just to get those comms online. So a 4-0 loss in that final is not the worst thing, but let's have a look at the series recap and just see what the damage done was from Critical Force. And there you see it. I talked about shots from the first series, but this one is even more insane. 40 shots to 15 on a 4-game series is absolutely incredible, averaging 10 shots a game. And I mean, it was just a torrent from Bravo Force of aggression and offense.
They had even ball possession, but field domination slightly higher for Bravo Force. Didn't feel that way, I'll be completely honest. I'd have thought that final game would have skewed it massively in Bravo Force's favor at the very least. But yeah, the standout, of course, is the shots and goals. Just far too easy for Bravo Force to find those gaps, find those lanes, and get their shots away. Opportunities abound. Basically a shooting gallery by the end for Bravo Force there. And it's unfortunate for DSQ. Commiserations to them. But that will be it for the rival tier tonight. And we're back here with our wonderful, wondrous Greybeard.
So there's a
feel about that series?
there's a very old-fashioned word which I think we should bring back, because I think it's very appropriate for what happened here, and that is a shellacking. Is pretty much what we saw here. 4-0, and my word. And I was looking over in chat, and the Critical Force AGM is, I think he's a little excited based on what he's seeing in chat. What a fantastic performance. So Bruv and the boys at Critical Force, congratulations. Outstanding performance. And Rhino, your standout in terms of player?
I think actually my standout is going to be the captain of Critical Force. It's going to be Papatinho. I think he really stepped up today. He, on paper, is the lowest MMR player on that roster. He did not look out of position. He didn't look out of place for the entire series. I was really impressed with Papatinho for this one. Not to say the other two didn't also play incredibly. Amaru coming through with some great plays, and Flash also being a fantastic supporting player too. But yeah, Papatinho for me, I think was a real standout, and maybe played above the station I was expecting to play.
Well, the good news for DSQ is that they will have a chance at some redemption, because we're going to be moving on to Elite very soon, and it's pretty much a rematch there in terms of the franchises. We have Critical Force versus DSQ, so they will be amped to try and reignite the flame for DSQ, while Critical Force will be looking to maybe forever snuff it out. But that does bring us to the end of, well, we're halfway through now, and that will be the end for Vector and Rhino Cast. So, gentlemen, outstanding job. Thank you so much for being here. We will let you go. I know Vector's rushing off. He's got RSC EU commitments as a player, and I know, Rhino, you've got DSQ commitment. So
That's
this
right.
might be a conversation you don't want to be having with them. When
Completely forgot. Yes,
But gentlemen, thank you
Loyalties,
very
man.
much, and good luck for the rest of the night.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
All right. Well, so there we are. We are now halfway through, and I think just a reminder of this broadcast, this season, this biggest community esport league in all of sub-Saharan Africa. The RSC is being prodded along, helped by two great sponsors this season. First of all, our prize pool sponsor, giving us a prize pool of 18,000 Rand. Nexa coming on board to support community. Big up to them. Thank you very much. And of course, this broadcast, which you will see is going to become slicker and better and more amazing as the season goes on. Genisus Extreme, making sure we can bring you as much of the action as possible. And we're going to be moving from, so as I've said, we're halfway through. Let's have a look at our schedule, see what has come, and see what is still to come in the not too distant, in the immediate future. So first up today, Prospect Tier, Accelerate versus Jokers. Accelerate taking the first game in that series, but then Jokers, 4 on the trot out of Dynasty, making it happen. They are the pre-season champions in Prospect. And then in Rival, Bravo Force and Viola, they were comprehensive performance from Bravo. Critical Force beating them 4-0 in a sweep. But now we move on to the Elite Tier. So it gets better and better from here. And it is a rematch. It is DSQ and Critical Force once again. This time, Ostrom out of DSQ and Delta Force out of Critical Force going to be doing action in another best of 7 grand final. And to come on board for that are our casters for the next 2 tiers. I'd like to welcome to the stage TheBromeo, and first time in RSC and SSA, Zektek. And Zektek, I'm going to come to you quickly. So I mean, I've known you. I've been aware of you through Twitter and the social sphere, and been involved in Rocket League a while, and thrilled to have you in our community league and in SSA. So welcome.
Super excited to be here. I am so happy to be able to support these sort of amateur / the scene that is just getting up there, really building their community, building their skills, and it is an absolute pleasure to be here.
And Bromeo, so your thoughts on that last series? It was Domination Nation.
Man, it was Critical Force versus DS Crushed. It was it was hard to watch at times. I'm grateful that the prospects played well. But no, it's been a very good evening of Rocket League so far. I have no complaints. This is the first stream of the season, and this is what we're getting, an appetizer towards going into the league. So I've got no issues.
All right, well, gentlemen, I'm going to leave you to talk about all the action and bring in the action. Elite Tier pre-season grand final. So Zektek and Bromeo, over to you guys.
Man, I am excited for this. I've watched the first game, I watched the second game, and now we are in our Elite preseason playoff finals. It is Critical Force Delta Force versus DSQ Ostrom. So we've seen both of these franchises, right, Zach? We saw them in the rival game just before. They've switched sides, but it is the same franchises. Now, DSQ will want to come back from this. DSQ's roster with Freezy, Genie, Flosee, and Graf. And Critical Force mainlining with Hard Flame, Kalamatin, Ford Hilux, and Art. So I'm not sure the exact lineup that they're going to show us tonight, but both of these teams have done very well going into this. So now, Zach, this is your introduction to SSA. Is there anything you've seen of SSA before, or is this, fresh, clean off the bus?
I mean, as far as the pro scene, I've been on the Astronic team streams for a couple of years now. That's been fantastic. Just sort of seeing the Swiss stage a lot. That has been absolutely fantastic. The SSA scene, love getting to cheer on those guys. But as far as sort of this scene that's just a little bit below that RLCS and whatnot, not in particular. So I'm super excited to see who is coming up, who's stepping up here, who is playing, and just what they can bring to the table today.
Man, I am excited because you've joined at just the right time. As you can see here in the brackets, the road to the finals, Delta Force taking down Prototype 3-1, and Ostrom similarly taking down the Dynasty Queens 3-1. So this game is set to be an absolute clanger because that was, those games were best of 5 and they only allowed the other teams 1 win apiece. So I think we're going to see a much tighter matchup this time than we do in Rivals, at least I hope.
I mean, I think it's going to be absolute of a banger series, but also seeing that each team did lose a game, we know they can bleed. They are not invincible. There is a strategy you can go off of, a game you can go off of to see how they fell, how they let one in. And I think that's going to be exactly what their opponents for each of these teams wants to analyze and go off of. What exactly pulled these teams apart in that one game? What did they do to fix that? And so how can they continue to really tear at that chink in the armor?
Well, we are heading right now into this game, so you do not have to wait to see any longer. This is the Elite Grand Final happening right here, right now, and we're just getting started. Zektek, are you ready?
I have been ready. Let's get into it.
Man, I'm just waiting because everybody's still looking at me, but here we go. Everybody's joined the field, and it is kickoff right now. Delta Force in on the one side, Ostrom on the other. I just have to check the colors here, and it looks like Ostrom is in the pink, and early shots there.
Ostrom doing a great job, actually. They were on defense first, but they were able to make some space, make some good clears, and get it down the field. And now starting to put on some pressure here against Delta Force. Delta Force, we're going to try to break out here. A little fake out. There's an opportunity for a shot. It's going to go high and get ricocheted off to the side. So now back to the midfield for some control, perhaps. Shot on target, but easily blocked away. Again, these are just testing shots. This is game one. Both these teams feeling each other out here and trying to figure out how they're going to get around these defenses.
Well, it is a best of 7. You say testing shots. I feel like they've got a testing game in here because, if this goes to a 7th game, we've got a very long night, but almost getting up there. Flosee not getting what he needs. Oh, is a Genie K there. And it's just carrying it through to the other side of the field. Gets the bubs. Oh, there he goes. And kicking off the Elite Grand Final. What a finish there by Arts. Plays it up against the backboard and straight in.
Perfectly executed backboard read there. Dishing up to yourself. The alley-oop dunk right into it, and they will kick it off with the first goal here. That is a great sign and great for your mental going into this game and into this series, knowing that, hey, we can get a nice little 1-2 shot myself, and I can absolutely start to put the pressure on here. But now, it looks like it's Ostrom trying to put it in. Going over to the side here, just taking time around 1 actually, and continues the pressure around 2, but can't find the shot with the fault player.
Oh, well, it's very back and forth right now, but still, only a minute and a half gone. They're playing it up against the backcourt. This could be a little bit dangerous, but very good 50 there by Raf. Now, Genie with possession, challenged early by Hilux, plays it in the backfield, but we're seeing now what's going to be shaping up to be what it is this game, and this is elite now, so it should be a little bit higher than what we saw rival side. And with the draft, these are new players, they're not used to each other, and I think that's important to note for, you know, the casual viewers. We see this rule 1 in play, is that all of these players have only been playing together for the last week and a half, so expect things to be a little bit rusty, but the gameplay so far has been pretty good.
I mean, these players, you know, getting to analyze each other's play style, figure out how to link up. But I'm sure once we see some of that happen, when you really get to that first link, those amazing passing plays, and you just start to link up with the player, it feels so good and gives you so much confidence going into the rest of the season and through this series here. So I just cannot wait to see how these teams really start to figure each other out, as well as their own teams, and really start to link up here, figure out their strategy. And the preseason, of course, is where you get to do that. As we take to the sky here, looking for an aerial play, we'll get shut down in the midfield. So it looks like another opportunity perhaps for Ostrom to score here. An open net, perhaps a fake out. Decided to not go for the shot, leave it for the teammate off the backboard, but no one there to finish off because of the Rule 1.
The Rule 1 sitting there in the corner, and I know Greybeard absolutely hates them, but I love them. Ford Hilux, and I couldn't see the other player sitting in there, but this right roll in. Now Arts playing it up, but now it's a 2v2, right? Genie K is going to take it across, put it up into the sky, and look, this is pressure right now. Hard Flam taking it out, putting it up against, gets the pinch, gets the beat actually, but Flosee reading the situation correctly as the longest Rule 1 in Elite Final history is continuing there, tries to get the beat, and he gets it. Genie K, what a shot.
Excellent control there, just keeping it at the tip of the nose, right over the top. The last touch, just enough to get around. And the player went up, could not grab it, and we are all tied up here. Game 1, both these teams now fully knowing that they can score and they can really put it and stick it to the team here. So who's going to capitalize here in the last end part of this game?
Well, it almost looked like Ostrom pulled a sneaky kickoff goal there. Unfortunately, the touch by Ford Hilux not being what he needed, but now straight across, pinched Ford Hilux across the entire field into the back of the net.
And just absolutely smashing it from the defense, assisted by the attacker on the redirect. You just hate to be that player where you're like, I'm going for the goal, I got this, and all of a sudden it's in your own net on the far side of the field. And you're like, how did we get here?
It's the absolute worst. Look, I do not proclaim to be a good player, but oof, Arts with the whiff there, but deftly recovered by his teammates. This is still a 1-goal game with 1 minute left to go. Ford Hilux going to ping the backboard. Nobody there to sink it though. Arts is going to try and keep possession though, but chooses to rotate out. And now we're going to see a Delta Force have the possession as they pull this one in straight off their backline. And now DSQ with the chance to get a dunk here, but straight off the ceiling. Arts doing what needed to be done.
Forward, a little bit of a setup there. It does get blocked away. Some space to work with here. They've taken it slow before, and it's been tough. But the air triples have worked. So they're trying to set another one of those up, but just couldn't quite get it past the defender this time. Up in the air here. No one going to strike, so it's going to be a clear all the way downfield. Looking for the react over. Fakes out the defender, and we'll put a third one home.
DSQ is not looking the like of this at all. The form might have carried over in between finals. We were looking at rivals. We are now looking at elites. And we are looking at a commanding performance so far by Delta Force. With 8 seconds left on the clock, you can assume, maybe dangerously, that this game is done. But it's not written yet, as Ostrom trying to get that last goal, and unfortunately not being able to get there, and coming out winners 3-1 in game 1.
And a solid start here for Ostrom. For both teams, honestly, a great start. You're getting goals on the board. You're getting some good connections with your teammates. But at the end of the day, it is a 3-1. Not a huge gap. At the very end there, they put an extra one in. So a lot of the game, it was pretty close. Both these teams, I think, ready to take this best of 7 the distance here. But of course, you're looking to take that first game, an excellent step. But at the end of the day, in a best of 7, it's not always the biggest decider.
And what I'm loving about the stats right now is I see Forward Hilux claiming the game MVP. And just a little story here. He was my teammate in Bro Season 1. Season 2, he was in Rival, promoted to Rival. And now, Season 3, he's in Elite. He might be one of the first classes of players to progress through all of the tiers, and I'm really, really excited to see that with a commanding performance by Forward Hilux. So kudos to him. Let's see if he can carry that performance into the next game. But otherwise, Critical Force looking pretty good. So now DSQ have a bit of a mountain to climb. It was the first game. They were just testing the waters. Is there anything that you would, if you were in that coaching room right now, what would you tell DSQ to do differently or do more of?
Oh, excellent question. You know, I think a bit of speed might help them out there. I saw several times they slowed it down and ended up giving the opponent just enough time to set up a bit of a defense against it. So maybe a bit of a bit more speed, a bit more chase down on some of these balls. Of course, you don't want to overcommit and just throw yourself down the field. But I think trying to take advantage of some of the openings you are being given is going to be huge here, because we did see some space and given a bump actually on the back line, which of course creates more space, more opportunities, and is going to give you the advantage you need to put it in. Couldn't quite score off of it, so now we got to find some defense here, and it's just off the post.
That was a very cheeky shot there by Critical Force, but the tempo of the game has increased slightly. The shot power getting much stronger as they compete in the air for this now. This is going to bounce quite nicely, and these competitions, these aerial competitions, are looking pretty tasty as Hardflame tries to put it through, but the backboard defense, oh, what a shot by Forward Hilux. Just spoke about him in game 1, but absolutely sinks it straight out of the sky.
You love to see it. Forward Hilux absolutely just slamming it off the crossbar. Like you said, advancing through every single level of play here at the RSC. And you know what that means? He is analytical of his own gameplay, willing to improve, willing to change it up. And that is something you always want in a player, to dominate your opponents. So when they start getting going, he can take a look at the field, what is happening, change it up, and make it work. As he almost doesn't want to hear no touch. Oh, it's in. Hardflame will sink it off the Forward Hilux passing play.
Man, I'm not very clued up on the state's high school years. Like, what do they call you when you're in year 3 of high school? Like, I know they're sophomore, freshman, that sort of thing. Where would they be? Division 1.
Yes, Division 1 is that sort of college thing. You know, 3rd year is junior, and then 4th is senior. So, yeah, really making their way through the years here as a junior. Though, no junior on the field, looking like senior against this team right now.
Yeah, man, he's about to graduate, and playing like that, you can see it coming now. We're seeing a lot of pressure being applied by DSQ here. Shot coming off with a flick there, not being able to land it, but shots coming in, and there we go. Flosee, their AGM of the franchise, taking this game by the scruff of the neck and saying, hey, I'm going to pop this one in. Don't worry, guys.
Far side behind the defender. Excellent placement there. You love to see it. Just always sliding it across. The defender doesn't expect it. And back within 1 here. Ooh, there might be another one coming in soon. Looking a bit dangerous, but no. Forward Hilux, the MVP here. Your Delta Force getting it out of the blues half of the field.
Well, you see, the DSQ are bunching a little bit, and it worked out not in their favor as Forward Hilux gets the pinch, applies the pressure. You can see Odds gets bumped here, but Forward Hilux straight down the middle does not make that mistake. Now, Delta Force 3-1. Again, this was the series score, and we're not the game score of game 1, and we're not even halfway.
Not even halfway. Opportunity for shot, but coming across as the defender here. Now trying to counterattack through the back end. They will get cleared away. Opportunity with a little bit of space here. This is what they need to use. Start putting things on target, maybe linking up here. But no, it's a redirect touch to the backboard. The defense just blocks it away. As Forward Hilux now going up with Hardflame, trying to make this happen here.
Looks like that indeed. We're halfway through the game now. Genie K in possession, pops the bounce, gets the fake, but Forward Hilux very alert there, not quite getting it. But again, Critical Force not being able to escape their own half yet. The pressure being applied by DSQ is relentless, but they're getting smacked on the counters as once again they're going to have to defend off the long shot here.
A good clear away here. Follow from a teammate who's got plenty of boost to work with. Just get away from him. Ooh, the touch is a bit awkward here, though. Can they follow it up with a shot to go up? The double commit will relieve some pressure for Delta Force here. Launching it downfield off the back. We're looking for a follow-up shot. It's a little 1-2, but the clear does come out. So they have opportunity once again towards the net. Can they finish it off? It's intercept off the backboard to the sidewall. They have to take this out of the corner now. But no follow-up shot because of those demos clearing out the space here. And the defense is just going to keep standing strong here, but they got to turn it over into some offense.
Well, looking at that, very good pass there by Flosee. Freezy not quite being able to get the touch there. And now, straight back on the defense. Genie with no boost, makes the jump. Oh, very, very close. Last-ditch save there, and they get out of jail. Genie playing it upfield, not trying. Ooh, he's going for the bump there. I thought they were going for the pass, but they're going for the shot. Can he sink it? No, he can't, and here's a runaway, and it's Genie, last man back.
I mean, great pass setup there. Maybe just a tad more speed might have gotten him there. Maybe a bump or two, but at the end of the day, it's still good opportunities, but you just gotta capitalize to actually take these games. And, oh, what a passing play. That's what we want to see. Genie K sinks it off the pass.
What a shot there. Freezy passing it down. And what a shot there. Genie K making the sink. And that's all we need. And that's a 1-goal difference. There's 35 seconds left to go. They have the time. We do believe. We were a little bit stressed out in game 1, but Ostrom have shown enough. They do show that they deserve to be here in this preseason grand final. Now Genie K with the flip reset beats 1, and it takes 2 Delta Force players to make that save because it was awkward right there. And as the shots continue straight down and continue to save, shots through again, demo on the line. There's absolute drama here. Delta Force getting out of jail, and you're gonna feel like Ostrom are gonna be very sore about that one.
Oh, it's not over yet, though. They can still keep this ball up, perhaps take it downfield. Just need to get it into the net to tie it up here. A big clear will make it much more difficult. Grabs the full boost, but the demo will bring it through, dropping that ball. And Critical Force will take game number 2.
Well, I've got to say, DSQ played a hell of a game there. They were absolutely sieging Critical Forces lined there in the last couple of seconds. And I would feel pretty hard done by if I was Captain Flosee right now, because that was, it seemed inevitable. But ultimately, Forward Hilux coming out again with the game MVP.
And just putting up the passes, the shots, working all around for the team, also putting up 2 saves. That's what you love to see out of a player like this, is just serving not just themselves in single solo plays, but also the team with the setups and the saves, working as a unit. And we just see, man, Forward Hilux and Hard Flame putting it up on the board, and Arch sitting in the back, just letting them do their thing while they support them.
Man, that was a runaround game. Now, DSQ having to fight a little bit harder for that game to win, but remember, this is a best of 7. They need to do that 4 times. So at the very least, we've got 2 more games to go. And for me, at least, we would see a game 7. But here we go, game 3. And now a very good kick straight off by Ostrom. And I would hope that they keep that relentless pressure up, because they did many things right that game.
Yeah, getting that scoreline much closer. So maybe we'll see this game a 3-3 overtime and perhaps a win. Just keep inching that up. So Ostrom, man, improvements over time is what you love to see. But Delta Force has just got to keep locking it down, locking it in, and they are just looking quite dominant here. So just got to keep continuing that momentum.
Freezy making the pass, and GenieK taking over, getting the redirect off the sidewall there. But all of it coming to naught as Hardflam pushes straight across. And now, again, once more, Delta Force defending, defending against their own and then countering so fast. It's the speed of that play as they continue to push through here. Freezy plays the pass through. GenieK's there in the corner but couldn't receive. And now, Flosee with the bang, hits the backboard. He's not going to be able to get the double there, but close.
Yeah, third sitting a little bit deep there. Couldn't quite follow up with the speed that maybe they might have wanted. So they got to really figure out where these rotations are going to sit and rest on the field. Because if you want it deep, you play good defense, you can intercept some long clears, but keeping the offense going relies a lot on those front two players. And if you need all three to make it happen, maybe a deep third just isn't the play for you.
Well, it's looking mighty dicey there as Ostrom continue their assault. But it just seems time and time again, the Delta Force defense, let's see if they can get the double. They can't, but the shot straight in. Oh, off the post. And I think this is the longest we've gone so far without a goal. Now, I don't want to jinx it because right now, Freezy taking the shot across, but Ford Hilux shadowing immaculately there. As unfortunately, couldn't get the touch there, but they got the clear.
Yeah, keep throwing shots on target. Trying to put it here off the backboard, maybe a follow-up. On the second man, it's just a little too deep. I think that's really the biggest thing here that Ostrom needs to fix. It's just how deep their second and third man are sitting, leaving their first man out to dry after all these attempts. And so you're just not getting the follow-up shots on target that you need here. And you're just always trying to get these little solo plays. And, I mean, Delta Force look comfortable stopping that.
What on earth happened there? I feel like he tried to catch. But let's just take a look at this one more time. Flosee didn't get the catch, tried to hit it off his bonnet, and then straight back into the back of his net. And I guarantee you that clip is going to be on Twitter later because, ouch. But that's a goal, and Delta Force will take it. And Flosee now going to have to pull up their socks and get that equalizer. They've still got 2 minutes to do it, and time's not up yet.
Yeah, much as we want to say, you should just be able to catch it, get that touch. I have had one too many games where I go for a touch like that, and all of a sudden just off the ground, I'm like, where's my cargo? And here goes Flosee, putting it in the net to tie it up.
Man, I love that. So Flosee, conceding the first, but making sure that his car was putting the ball in the back of the opponent's net, and that, my friends, is what we call a redemption arc. The game is now tied up with 2 minutes to go, and it's a clean slate. And straight off the bat, Flosee is going to get another goal, run away. And I think Flosee's tilted now. He's switched his screen on. His controller has been cleaned because this man is not playing games anymore. He's playing to win.
I mean, great job by GenieK there to get it out of the defensive end, past the attacking players, spot the fact that they're overreached, and just throw it home for his teammate to put it in. Going up high, there's some speed here, GenieK, and the finish, just a little high. And so Freezy looking to put some pressure on. GenieK is for too far back, though. Gets a shot on net. Can he get to it? No, he can't. Ford Hilux will equalize.
Man, this game has definitely turned up a notch. GenieK going for that corner boost. Might not have been the best one, but almost getting there. And I suppose that is the risk reward that we take, as you need some boost, but you also need to save the goal. And that's always a hard decision. Now, GenieK playing it back, but Hardflam getting a pinch up against the backboard, and shot straight across. Art's making the save, redirected by Ford Hilux. And now we're seeing some high-octane gameplay. These boys have come out to play.
Just light a fire, and they are looking to absolutely flame it up, get heated, getting downfield here. Follow-up play off the pass, off the backboard. Another player put it center. They're getting the follow-ups now. Second man and third man have stepped up here. They have started to close the gap, and it has worked so well for them as they maintain this pressure.
Pressure is mounting. Freezy taking the shot across, forcing Arts into the save, plays it straight across. Now Ford Hilux just in time, and you can see Ostrom is playing with a lot of shape right now. They didn't overcommit to that, even though the goal was on the cards. They are keeping safe. They're playing safe. Very good clear off the backboard now. A little bit awkward. Ford Hilux and Hardflames, they're deciding who should take that. And now it seems Freezy taking the shot across, plays the bounce, but Hardflame there in time. And wow, what a game this has turned out to be. Shot straight across, but Flosee with the save.
Arid stopping in the midfield here. But Genie K, we've seen him help set up several passes and plays here. Ooh, a little fake out. Who's back on defense? Oh, we just get Flosee back in time. Doesn't have to actually block a shot as it's off the backboard. And now, last couple seconds here. Will it go in or will it touch down? We have overtime, the first of the series.
Well, in first game, it was a bit of a storm, 3-1. And second game, it tied pretty close. And now, game 3, we have an overtime. Ostrom have come out to play, but immediate pressure by Delta Force. And this is looking a little bit, oh, there we go. Hardflame doing what he needs to do to end this overtime. Delta Force is like, no, let's just end this now. And a little bit of an anticlimactic finish to what has been an excellent display from both teams. So hard luck DSQ, that's the closest they've come. So close, but Critical Force take the dub, and now they're 3-0 up.
Man, Ostrom there was looking so good, but at the end it was the breakdown in communication, getting a little awkward, too many players in the same spot. And we've seen it happen several times that game where double commits happen in the midfield. Who's clearing it? Who's going for the shot? Who's defending? And then it just sort of, you know, took away from so many other opportunities that they started to have here in these later games. And then right there at the end, a little miscommunication. They toss it center. No one's there to follow it up, and it is in their net. So now I think Ostrom, biggest thing here is to clear the comms. You know, get a little fresh start there. Just shake it off, and try to keep it going.
Well, I see there that DSQ came out with the demo plays. They are definitely trying to interrupt what is turning into be a very formidable force by Critical Force. And I like those aggressions. I like the bumps. I know that I speak about this a lot across the server, but bumps can change games. They can shift mentals. And Ford Hilux was playing a much more passive game there. And now going into game 4, are they going to continue in that same measure? They almost came off victors. So I would expect another demo-heavy game, especially by here as Flosee tries to 1v3 and couldn't get it across.
Almost a good start here, but now counterattack opportunity. Will they have the way to get it out? Yes, Freezy just gets it out there. Flosee off to the side. I put some pressure, but not a lot of boost to go around. Does get it around, but it's just over the top there. And the counterattack is coming downfield. They got to get a good read on this. The shot's on target, but blocked away off the backboard. Oh, to the side. Defense just standing strong there for Ostrom.
Ostrom rallying around their goalpost to try and get this one out. Currently Delta Force with all of the boost, and it seems like Delta Force want to finish this now. Remember, this is match point. If they win now, they win the series. This is game over. Ostrom go home. So in order for DSQ to pull this one out, they have to win 4 times in a row. And that is a hefty hill to climb, but here we go, straight off the bat, Freezy trying to set something up, but Ford Hilux, the star performer so far, playing it across. And again, almost getting sniped on a counterplay. And this is Delta Force now scrambling to get it out. This is a Delta Force that we haven't seen so far. They played with confidence, but now Freezy beating one and then straight back into the midfield.
Ostrom getting a bit aggressive here. Almost too aggressive. Shot is just off target, off the post there. A flick gets absolutely dunked here. So Freezy's got to get off the sidewall. A good clear center. Is anyone going to follow it up? No, it's just Ford Hilux to take control here. Grabs the boost and a little control here, but some great dunks out of Flosee. Means that Genie's going to have a pass back center. Anyone there for the shot? It's Arts. Cleared away.
Arts still maintaining possession, 0 boost, but the hero takes it in, and there we go. Critical force with the first goal again. But this time, it was very well set up here by Arts. He hasn't gotten enough acclaim for what he's been doing. Set up that pass, 0 boost, and it landed perfectly center goal. So very, very well played.
Excellently done here. Now Ford Hilux looking to get aggressive once again off the backboard. Pop shot isn't there. Double commit. Opportunity now for Ostrom to try to put the center for a pass perhaps. Ford Hilux is back just in time to block it away.
Well, block it he did. Now Ostrom's rallying back to their half, and Flosee putting it into the corner, but well caught by Hardflam. Passing it down center, a little bit dangerous, but pulls in the block there. Now as Ostrom seek to get a little bit of respite here by getting a counter, and Hardflam just not moving. He's not even getting goal and not even getting boost. He's just like, I'm going to sit here and I'm going to save these goals. This is what I'm going to do now. There we go. Makes another.
End of the day, you only got to win by 1, but Freezy says, sorry kids, you got to get 1 more.
Oh, there we go. And that's look, the only reason I think that happened was because Hardflame went to go get boost. If he sat there and didn't, I think he would have saved it. But here we are, 2 minutes left. Ostrom, Delta Force, 1 apiece, and everything to play for. Delta Force are going to want to close this one out now, but Genie K playing it down center, and again, pressure staying here. Couldn't get the touch there though, so this should mean safety, but a loose ball down the middle could mean disaster. Plays it across, nobody's back home, but Arts scrambling, getting it just in time, but they're not out of the woods yet. Flosee playing it up against the back wall. Can he get the double? No, he can't, but Freezy there, midfield, making sure that none of this possession is wasted.
Follow-up players from Ostrom. A little deep. The bump will make sure that he doesn't touch it coming through. And down back towards the blue half of the field. Ostrom's putting on so much pressure, but know that the counterattacks out of Delta Force can be deadly. So now Hardflame's going to press down. Ford Hilux in tow. The 2 big scorers for this team. But of course, Art's stepping up this game as well. But now off the corner, Ostrom trying to set the thing up once again. Only a minute remaining, 60 seconds on the clock as we are all tied up. Each game getting closer and closer as these teams just keep getting better. But you want to see who will get that last goal. We are almost in golden goal territory. One could decide it all, but you never know, as Rocket League is unpredictable like that. And that's, of course, why we love it.
Man, we love this indeed, and what a loss. A tight couple of games this has been. Freezy couldn't get the shot off. He was waiting there. He was hunting them. Now, Ford Hilux passing off to Hardflam, but immediately countered. This has been a game of immensely high tempo. 15 seconds left to go. I think, and I don't want to curse this, might we see another overtime? Because even though it's 3-0, this has not been a walkover for Delta Force so far. They've had to fight for this one. Ostrom is not laying down, and there we go. Flosee, 0-second goal, keeps the hopes of Ostrom alive. And what a legendary shot, straight down the middle into the back of the net. Beats both Hardflame and Arts. Legendary.
Making it awkward for the defense and then just slamming it home hard. That's going to be great for Ostrom, a great confidence boost. But of course, you are in reverse sweep mode now because you drop a single game and it is all over. But you've got the momentum started. You've got the game to your name. Now it's just trying to walk that long and hard path back to victory. But right now, they have got a wall in front of them they need to surmount.
Do we dare to dream just yet, Zach? They've still got a long way to go, but that was a very well-fought victory for DSQ there, and Freezy getting the acclaim for it. But all round, what a team performance. 3 shots at goal by Flosee, coming away with 1. But honestly, the saves by Freezy has been fantastic. So now we're heading in to game number 5, and there's still a little bit of hope. What do you think, Zach?
Absolutely. I think there's always that hope there that, trying to get it. You got it in not overtime, actually, 0-second goal. You know, like, avoid the overtime. We didn't get it last time. We don't want it again. So I think just really locking it in here, continuing to put on that pressure. It looks so good when they start to close the rotations in just a little bit, really get that second man, third man close to their first, keep the pressure going one after another. And I think at the end of the day, that's going to be their ticket to victory.
Honestly, I think Ostrom's turnaround began with that own goal from Flosee where he narrowly missed it. And speaking of Flosee taking a dart in early, trying to gain the ascendancy, still bouncing around here. It's a little bit awkward in the front of Delta Force net. And the 50s are being taken. And look, I love the way that this DSQ game has been going so far. They're playing with passion. They're playing with speed against a very, very good Delta Force side. And now we see Genie playing a little bit awkwardly off. And this could be a little bit of trouble, but Ford Hilux a little bit too deep to take advantage of that. Or is it? Couldn't get the double touch there, but they're not out of the woods. And now they are with Flosee on the counter.
I was looking dangerous there with the backboard feeds to each player, but the breakaway play on the defense is great here. Got 2 to bite on that reset play on the corner. It's a little awkward. If they can steal the boost, perhaps. Not quite going to happen, but still, pressure being applied here as Ostrom is not willing to give it up just yet. A little space here, popping it high. Oh, but a good touch there off to the side. Arts putting up the defensive end.
This has been action-packed so far. Genie K taking it up into the corner, but immediately tackled by the ever-present, the ever-inevitable Ford Hilux. He is just built different. Now, it is one of those games that I'm too afraid to call because DSQ looks like they're pulling their socks up. Flosee is playing with the kind of attitude that we need to see from him because he is a game changer when it needs to be. And now a big clear straight out, and Flosee waiting in the center of the field, trying to get a shot across. Couldn't get that one there. It's going to be a 1v1, and hard flam not being able to convert there.
Try to take the space, try to take the boost, get around that player off the sidewall, but ultimately great walk-in by the defense there to just stay on top of it. And now counter-attack opportunity here, breaking away. It's going to be put center. Arch just slamming it downfield. And back to Ostrom, try to control this and get out of their own half again.
Oh, I see that in chat. There is a vote for a DSQ reverse sweep, and currently 60% of the chat say that DSQ can take it. And honestly, that's not hard to believe with the way that they have been sieging the Delta Force line. This could be a catalyst, a watershed moment, if you will. Can't get the touch across there, but Delta Force scrambling, no boost, and Ostrom with all the impetus to make things count right here, right now.
Off the ceiling there. Couldn't quite make the follow-up play, but the defense is locked in. A double miss, though, will both also throw off Delta Force, so the shot didn't come through quite yet. A flick to the backboard, a shot off the crossbar. It's not in yet. Off and blocked away. We remain at 0-0.
What heroics here, DSQ with a never say die attitude. Delta Force swinging the hammer left, right, and center. Now, double commit there by Delta Force, which could be a little bit costly because of a bit of wasted boost, but shot coming straight down. Couldn't get the touch across. It's a little bit dangerous. Ford Hilux, the last man back, but ever dependable. He air dribbles his way out of danger as Flosee lobs one back in, and now, can he get the shot down? No, he can't.
Catch and cut, so dangerous so often, but the defense was just locked in enough to stop it away as we hit the last 60 seconds here. Looks like an opportunity for a breakaway play, but the bump will break things away. Perhaps a turn here, a shot across, it's blocked up. Opportunity still backboard, double touch, it's in!
Fantastic shot there by Flosee, leading from the front. Ford Hilux trying to repeat his clearing endeavors, and Flosee was like, you know what, I'm going to take this ball and I'm going to double tap it right into the back of your own net. That's what you get for air dribbling in front of it. So very well played there by Flosee. They take the lead for the first time in what seems like forever, but this is what they need to hold on to now. They need to hold this lead as Hotflame takes the shot, and what a save there by Genie K. Underrated, but wow, there we go. Hotflame counters so quickly, and now we're looking at a 1-1.
I mean, the pinch there to put it center, so much speed, and Hardflame just gets up in time to dip it over the defense, and we are all locked in 1-1. 43 seconds left. We are in golden goal territory. A single accurate shot on net could do it, and there's Arts stepping up here for Delta Force.
Arts playing quietly often, but where it counts, getting the bounce. Genie K had to commit to that, and Arts just with a bump over the top. That's all he needed. Keep it simple, keep it in. And now Delta Force, with 35 seconds left on the clock, have the goal in their pocket, and they just need to hold on, because if they hold this, they win, they go home, and DSQ knows this. They're going to throw everything they have. Now 20 seconds left to go. Flosee playing it across. He's going to try and counter very quickly, but very well played there by Hilux. Shots coming across now. Takes the shot in. There's a little bit of disarray on the Delta Force net. That might be everything they need. 10 seconds left. Ostrom needs to do something. They need to do it now. They're crowding over the ball. It shoots across. No ways. If this can get in, he's going to want to play this down, and straight across. Oh, that was the shot, and it looks like it's still up in the air. Flosee not saying die here, but there we go. What a dramatic finish, but at the end of the day, Critical Force coming out winners.
And a brilliant job. Ostrom did not go down without a fight. Sure, they only took one game, but almost every game in between was a 1-goal game, some overtimes, some 0-second heroics, but at the end of the day, it is Delta Force 4-1, locking it in as pre-season champions.
Delta Force very well deserved there, but DSQ did not make it easy for them. Very well done. Very well done. So we're going to have a look at the stats quickly, and let's take a look at this. It does show a one-sided affair, but have a look at the shots. 36 shots for Delta Force to the 30 of DSQ. Very similar saves, ultimately very similar demos and possession. And you can see how fast DSQ were playing purely because they stole all of the boost. They had almost 8,000 more boost consumed than any of this, and I think that at the end of the day is what makes it count. And very well played by Delta Force and Critical Force, the franchise. So I think that this was a much better showing. I am glad that they managed to get it done, but well played, DSQ.
Very well played. Excellently done. And welcome back, Greybeard.
So Critical Force not doing as good a job as their rival colleagues, but still 4-1 is one hell of a showing. And Bromeo, it feels like a Critical Force early on in pre-season laying down a fairly large gauntlet.
Do you know what? This is a story of, two franchises, DSQ storied in history, and the newcomers threatening to take it. And here's the interesting thing, and this is what Nations, their general manager, might lament, is that they went into the finals of league play, and I think they finished second twice. And I don't want to be the harbinger of bad news here, but it looks like DSQ has finished twice. Once more.
All right. Well, Zektek, give us a brief overview of your debut showing in SSA.
I mean, an absolutely fantastic match to start off with. Both these teams coming out strong here. I mean, Delta Force linking up so well. I mean, those strong players moving up through the ranks. For Hilux in particular, one of the MVPs here for this team. Did absolutely fantastic, both on the offense and the defense. Ostrom tried to step it up, kept it close. I mean, 12 goals to 8 overall. That is a pretty close showing, but at the end of the day, couldn't quite pull it through. They got better and better through the series, but just couldn't quite overcome that barrier. And at the end of the day, I mean, another second place is just unfortunate, but hey, you're not going down. You got that much to hold on to.
And I was very pleased to see Ford Hilux putting in a shift. I got to meet him at the AGC LAN last month, or whatever it was, in the not too distant past. So it was great to. He's a high school player, so making an impact on RSC, great to see. And as we now turn our attention to the last series of the day, the Master Tier Grand Final, and I'm going to raise this early, Bromeo, because I just want to get it out there and make sure, because you're going to be casting, and I know you're a man of conflicted interest at the moment, since we're seeing the Order of Okes who are going to be competing, and I just want your commitment out there in public that you are going to be an unbiased caster.
You know, currently you're speaking to Bromeo, the caster, not Bromeo Oak, the assistant general manager of the Order of the Okes. So yes, I promise to be unbiased, but I cannot guarantee that my team will be. They are currently unbeaten, and they are looking very hot. So I will be unbiased, but it's going to be tough.
Well, Zektek, you are the complete outsider here, the unbiased outsider, and you can keep it tidy throughout the Master Series. But this is it, the final series of pre-season. By the end of tomorrow night, rosters are down to 4. The fighting rosters ready for league play, which kicks off on Monday. So, for the Master Tier, I will hand you over to take us into the game, TheBromeo and Zektek.
Oh man, we are at the final hurdle. This is the Master Playoff Final for preseason, and we see UnitOX Inguni versus Order of the Okes Ballers. So if you don't know who's on those teams, fear not, I am about to tell you. So for UnitOX, we are looking at Nitro, Technic Eagle, D-Money, and Clipsy. And on the Order of the Okes team, we're looking at Werty, Willant, Happy, Teacher, and TG. So I mentioned it earlier, Order of Okes have had a fantastic run in the Masters section, culminating in this final. And they will be coming out pretty much favorites for this, but I would love to see a very good showing from UnitOX, because I just love the way that they've named their tiers. And for the uninitiated, and if you haven't been following closely, UnitOX have named their teams after breeds of cattle, because UnitOX is an amalgamation, a merger of two franchises, Unity and Ox Gaming. So heading in now, we're going to see the cattle themes, and they've done a number. They 3-0'd Brofessors, the bro outfit, which is traditionally very good. They 3-0'd them. So they are looking very strong, and Ballers taking down the XP Devourers heading into this final. So very good showings by both teams. So here's hoping we have a close one.
I mean, I think it's going to be an absolute great showdown here. Thank you for pronouncing Nguni for me, as I was just like, oh man, coming from America here. I know Ballers, clearly we know about Ballers, but man, thank you. I appreciate that. Nguni versus Ballers. It's going to be an absolute showdown. Now, one player I did recognize is Wordy, actually. I believe he has played in some of the RLCS qualifications, perhaps even the Swiss stage. And so that is a player I am familiar with. However, the others, I'm excited to see what their gameplay is like and just what they bring to the field today.
No, completely agree with you. Werty being a long-time servant of Rocket League in Sub-Saharan Africa, having very successful stints in RLCS. But there are definitely some up-and-comers. Teacher also playing pro-level Willant. We're looking at Nitro traditionally playing in RLCS as well. Technic Eagle as well, long time in there. So there are plenty of big guns here today, and I have no doubt that the quality of this Rocket League is going to be chef's kiss. It's going to be great.
Beautiful, tasty, delicious. I cannot wait. It is going to be a fantastic best of 7. Will we see more than 5? That will be the question. I believe most of these Grand Final series have not gone more than 5. So let's see. Can they take it to 6? Maybe even 7. As casters, we love to see more Rocket League, and I'm sure as the fans, you love to see it as well, perhaps. But maybe it'll be another domination sweep. Only one way to find out, and that's to roll the cameras and get the players on the field.
I think that there's been way too many dominant performances tonight. I'd like to see a Game 7 in the last game of the evening. I think we deserve that. And heading up now, I can hear the cars revving their engines. We are almost there for the Master Grand Final. You know, just had to say Master and not Master, because, you know, we got to keep it cross-continental here. But here we go. Inguni in the blue, Ballers in the orange, keeping it original and fresh.
And Wordy clicking through the middle, but Nitro is up for it. Techno Eagle trying to put some shots on, and it looks like it is Nguni starting off with a lot of these plays here on the offense, trying to connect through the midfield. A great 50 there to maintain control, but Nitro couldn't keep on top of that. So now you're going down. Teacher trying to get this here. A shot across, but Technic Eagle happily taking that one out of the defensive end.
Well, it looks like it indeed. It's a very tepid start. It's not taking too many risks, and Teacher with the collection, he's going to grab the boost, go up the wall, and play it across. Demos coming across there, and early aggression being shown, a little bit disorganized here, and I'm not sure who Vibo is, but I'll have to confirm that. It might be Willant, it might be TG, or it could be Happy, and I'll wait for production to tell me who it is. But till then, Vibo is a mystery player, and playing straight out of the center there. Werty getting the clear, and immediately tackled there by D-Money.
I mean, hey, a little more unpredictability in Rocket League is nothing new to us here. But as we go down the field, it's a clear. Can Teacher get there in time to finish it off? He can! First goal going over to the Ballers.
Oh, teaching us some lessons here in how to counter. Unfortunately, Nguni not getting back in time, and minute 30 is all it took to score the first goal. Ballers in the ascendancy, but I am sure that is not all they wrote. Now, Teacher trying to get another touch across. Vibo playing it out. Now, Werty playing it safe. He's going to stay upfield, but now pass across there almost. Just needed Technic there to be a little bit closer, but you can see they're keeping their third man close as they lob this one in.
Looks like Vibo is Welland, it looks like. So you were correct.
Okay. All right. So we are looking at Willant. Willant is Vibo. I don't know why the master players like changing their names like this. They're going there. But as we say that, Werty scores, and that one came out of nowhere. Werty just bombing it up. The waterfall happened, and Werty finishes that. He just does.
And an alley-oop to himself, tosses it up and dunks it in over the last player. They are balling out here today as they'll put a third one on the board right off kickoff.
Well, there we go. The mystery man himself, Vibo Willant, getting a demo there. I'm not sure what happened there to get the demo and the straight shot, but played straight down the middle, and Nguni's taking notes right now because that's been an aggressive start here. Teacher getting another demo across. Werty playing the shot in, and Nitro playing it up. Can he get it across? Gets the bump. Oh, there we go. That's what we needed to see.
and it was just enough. Nitro with the tap up on over. Defensive bump. Teacher just couldn't quite get the touch strong enough on it, and 1 on the board. Already 4 goals. We're not even halfway through this game.
Well, this is what we want to see. We came here for Rocket League, and Rocket League, we are getting witty. Playing it out, no boost, but still looking to maintain possession. Willant playing it across, but now D-Money trying to get the bump in, returning a little bit of the aggression. I'd love to see the demo stats at the end of this game because nobody is holding anything back. Bumps are coming in aplenty.
Sidewall control, looking for a backboard read, but it is blocked away. Now Bubusz on this one, get down the field here. Gonna block out this shot, but the fake out. Technic Eagle will finish it off, and back within 1, and Goonie will happily take that one around.
Well, Nguni showing their pedigree here, and 2 goals now, and just 1 separating the 2 teams with 2 minutes to go. This is what we want to see, but another very aggressive kickoff goal, and this must be scripted here because you see straight off the kickoff, Technic Eagle takes it, blocks it, but a very aggressive cheat by Vibo gets it in, and wow, you scripted or not, that went straight into the back of the Nguni net.
As they say, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. If you keep getting goals off it, might as well keep doing it. And off the backboard here, trying to block this one away. Attack is still coming in, but D-Money able to get it off to the corner. It's still a little tense here, though, as Teacher's trying to get it across. A block out, Nitro able to get on top of that one. Off to the side here. Couldn't quite make it. D-Money with some control. The dribble, pass 1, pass 2. Looking for the bump, perhaps. Teacher to, Technical Eagle to finish it off. And they will put another one on the board for themselves.
That was fantastic. What a tackle. What a pass by D-Money. Technical Eagle just doing what he needed to be done to get that into the back of the net. And in game 1, we have seen 7 goals so far. Are we going to see another Vibo fast cheat? No, he was the one who took the kickoff. So, Werty up in the air, keeps his boost to last. Can he get the double tap? No, he can't. And, Nguni getting out of jail there.
So close on that follow-up. Now a breakaway play. They've loved these demos and these passing plays. Some of these dribbles have gotten around. But now Baller is shutting down on the defense here. Ooh, but another touch over D-Money looking for a double tap. No, backboard is defended. Vibu able to block that one away.
Well, both teams demonstrating their aerial prowess here. Just throwing it in the air to each other. Plays the corner. Couldn't hit for the redirect. But the impetus is with Nguni right now as Technic Eagle takes possession. 1 beats, but Teacher there plays it to safety. D-Money playing it down, shot coming across, and bumps there, couldn't finish though. And now Nguni trying to return it. They've got 30 seconds to make a play. D-Money straight in, can he get the touch? Technical Eagle just inches away, and still in possession. They're gonna take the shot. Can he get the double? Oh, shot across, hits the bar again. My word.
Oh my goodness. And Goonie putting some great shots and opportunities on net, but the defensive Ballers just standing so strong. A giant bump there. Demo will clear things away. And it looks like it might be it. A shutdown. 3 seconds left on the clock. They got to lock it in. And there is Ballers take game number 1, but by only 1 goal here. Both these teams absolutely showing up and showing out here in game number 1.
That was a very tightly contested first game, and generally teams, get the rust off, but that was high octane from the first second. Teacher coming away with the MVP, making 3 demos, 3 saves, and getting himself a goal and assist. Man was everywhere, so well played to him. But this is looking a lot closer than we thought. This was an underdog story, but the way that Unity have been playing, they have definitely got a point to prove here. And I think this game 2 is going to be hella interesting.
Oh, quite interesting indeed. I mean, man, like you're saying, high octane, close game. And I mean, so many opportunities there at the end for Nguni to try and score. It was just a great defensive stand by Ballers, but if they don't have that defense, or if it gets broken just a little bit more, I absolutely see Nguni running away with some of these goals.
Well, there were some very, very good goals there, and the quality of the play has been high. There has not been many whiffs. The play has been aggressive, to the point, and on the head. Many of those goals coming from aggressively pushing the rotation out of shape and then just slamming it into the back of the net. So I think you match aggression with aggression here. I expect to see more demos game 2, because you can see tempers are flaring. They're gonna get the shots in, but here we go. Game number 2. And now Nguni wants to take the early shot here, can get the shot across, but Teacher, backboard save, and this is going to be another high octane game.
I mean, we're already seeing it here, like you were saying, with the modern meta. You meet speed with speed, and you just got to try to beat them out at their own game. But here we go. Wellens with a massive name plate. We'll just try to get that around the corner there. Wordy goes up, tries to put it center, but defense is there to clear it away.
Well, Welland now doing his utmost to get himself in trouble with the authorities. Coming across with an equally lengthy play as his name tag, and double committing there. Very quite unlike Wieland. And Technic getting the touch, but Willant there in the middle to make sure that doesn't happen. You're seeing a little bit of aerial ping pong right now. I'm not sure if they've settled down just yet, but expect an aggressive rotate or two very shortly. There we go. There's the bump, trying to break it. And now Nguni with the possession.
D-Money cleared a far side here. Willens is there for it. Now Wordy, though, great speed intercepting this, trying to keep it on that end of the field. And both these teams locked in still at 0-0. They've really figured each other out from game 1. They know how to defend each other well. Now they're just trying to figure out how to get this goal started again. I mean, it was a shootout game, no one. Now it seems like it's a defensive showdown here in game number 2.
Well, it looks like that indeed. Almost 2 minutes gone, no goals scored, and Nguni with the possession here. They're going to try and get it across. Willen pushing it out, but oh, there we go! Hits the crossbar, and like we saw in chat, Baller's MVP was the post, and there we go again, saved by it. Nitro with the possession now, puts it into the air, beats one, and now she's gonna try and get a shot across, but not there just yet. Teacher, no boost to take, but he heads up early into attack. They're gonna try and pass it down. Teacher, can he bang it in? No, he can't, but that was cheeky indeed.
Good pressure here from Ballers. Now it's Nitro trying to break out here. Far side, D-Money, who does get a touch on it. He's able to beat the other attacking player, but now a dribble play doesn't quite get around. Wordy drop down play, Technic Eagle happily gonna get up in front of that one. A little space for D-Money to work, but just gonna launch it into the defending player. Off the ceiling it goes, double tap, off the ceiling, no, not quite.
Oh, almost there, not there quite. This is what we're seeing so far. 2 minutes left in the game, and we haven't seen a goal yet. So this has been very defensive, many shots being saved, but now Worty picking up the boost, losing possession, and Nguni have been sieging possession in this game. They've been putting it into the corner, but as we say that, Willen plays it up against the backboard. The shot is loose, and Willen gonna try and keep it up there again, but looks well controlled by the Nguni side as they get this one out.
Ooh. He tried to go for a fake out there, Wordy, but didn't quite work out. Technic Eagle now trying to take this out with an air dribble. Willens, ooh, backboard for D-Money. Oh, but a massive clear means that Nitro's gonna go all the way to his own end of the field here. Try to get control. Willens across. Try to control in the corner here again. And just back and forth. We're playing boomer ball, baby. And here we go with the shot opportunity, but it's not gonna go in.
Well, here we go, getting demoed there. Teacher on the receiving end this time, gets the respawn, but will it be in time to get back with his teammates? No, not quite. He'll have to reset as Nguni push this down. Can he get the shot across? Yes, they will. And D-Money tapping it in for an easy goal at the end of a very exhausting 4-minute attempt to get it, because ultimately this could be the decider.
I mean, that fake out there by the other attacking player in the corner gets the defender to jump, and the follow-up player able to just launch it in. You love to see it. Anguni looking to take their first game here, equalize this series. But they got to hold out for the next 40 seconds. And Ballers, known to be able to ball out at any second here, are just looking to absolutely maintain this pressure they've had for a lot of this game.
Well, I'm going to start calling that kickoff the Ballers kickoff, because that extremely heavy cheat over the shot stop immediately. They've done that, I think, 4 or 5 times already, and they've scored off like 2 or 3 of them. So it's proving very successful for them. But ultimately, I think Nguni have got this one. They've got 8 seconds to go. They're on the offensive right now. Hold on to it for 5. Teacher with possession, but they're going to let this one roll. Pinched with Willand, coming across the corner. Can they get the shot across? Werty keeps it up. They're going to try and hit the floor right now. Willand burning all of his boost. All they need to do is tap it down, and there we go. Nguni equalize the series, and UnitOx are still in it.
All tied up, and this is what I was talking about. Both these teams showing up, locking in, figuring each other out, and my goodness, another 1-goal game, but this time 1-0. Shots were not coming through. They were being all blocked away, shut down in the midfield. It seems like these teams, man, are just figuring each other out back and forth. Who's going to have advantage in game 3? I honestly couldn't tell you.
Well, I don't want to be the one who called it, but UnitOx coming out with 4 demos that game, and I gotta say, Ballers had no response, no demos on their side. And this wasn't a game of shots, because Ballers only took 2 of them, but compared to the 5 that were taken by UnitOx. So you can see this whole game was fought predominantly in the midfield, and that demonstrates a lot closer of a game. So I'm excited. This series has some potential, and as we're heading in to game number 3, Nguni are going to be happy about this with the performance buff that they get from game 2, and now it is the Ballers' turn to pull up their socks.
Yeah, I mean, time to figure out what the game plan is, how to change it up, how to get back in your own court. And here we go. A lot of control in the midfield here. A fake out. The defense absolutely pulled out of the way, and is Nguni to kick it off in the first 7 seconds.
Well, that's stalled by Teacher. We've seen it happen enough, but Technic saying absolutely no way we get this goal this time. And after 6 seconds, Nguni with the goal, and immediate pressure, but Nitro corralling this into the corner. And we're not going to see another quick goal by the looks of it, as Technic Eagle throws down to Nitro, plays the flick off, but D-Money not landing the shot. Can he get the double in? Oh, this is some Champagne Rocket League happening right now, and what a treat we are in for.
I'll be honest, I don't know what Champagne Rocket League is, but this is absolutely fantastic control. Great shots. The passes are coming out. The defense is standing strong. And Nguni, I mean, kicked it off so early. Might get another one here, but couldn't quite. And I mean, this might just be a game of attrition now. And Nguni are like, all right, we got one in the goal. Time to just hold out. Lock it down, lock it in. We're turtling up. And that is all we need to take a win. Which, if it works, it works.
If it does, it does. I mean, this is one of those games where it's going to come down to a goal. And immediately there, Willand hitting the crossbar. Can they get the ball down? Yes, he can. Teacher getting the ball off the loose play and making sure he doesn't miss that, because Willand, very quick reflexes to catch that ball, pop it up, and Teacher with the dunk to level it up. And I'm just loving the way that both teams are playing. They're playing with really good intensity, playing off the mistakes. And Nitro getting the immediate bump there and immediate trouble in the midfield.
Some fake outs in the midfield as well. Some bumps. They're just trying to clear this out, really control the field, make it as easy as possible for their teammates to score right now. It's just trying to find enough control for long enough to get a play going to the other end of the field. As we're just bouncing back and forth through the midfield. Defense standing strong off the crossbar there was dangerous, but now they're here trying to break away. Center here, but it's Nitro up for it. Trying to maintain this pressure for Anguni. Off to the side here. Almost a touch for Wordy off that past read. Teacher to the backboard. Double tap down. Not going to happen as Technic Eagle will put it off to the side.
Immediate pressure being applied. Teacher waiting for the touch that never comes. Puts it down. But D-Money making no mistake in getting it right out of there. Tried to get the bump there. I love it. I want to see more of it now. Nitro playing it down. This looks dangerous. Gets the touch across. And what a shot from Technic Eagle. Clip that. What a touch.
Beautifully done. Nitro slams off the ceiling across. And the redirect by Technic Eagle. Bottom left corner right behind the defender. You could not have found a better spot to shoot.
Honestly, that shot was absolutely gorgeous by Technic Eagle, getting right amount of it, putting it right behind Teacher, and well-deserved goal there by Anguni as they continue for more. They're not done yet. They are playing with some heat. Willant with the clear, but Nitro getting demoed in the process, and Ballers now pretty angry are starting to put some demos in of their own.
Going clear away there. Teacher and Wellens looking to link up. Gonna take this off to the side, get the reset, perhaps turn it around towards the center, but Technic Eagle will stand strong on the defense.
Oh, very, very good defensive play so far. Teacher playing it across. Willen getting the touch. But again, immediate pressure in the corner by Anguni, wanting to play off the loose ball. Could this be an own goal? Oh, Worthy. What a play.
That is unfortunate. Just puts it a little farther behind D-Money than he was expecting. And that's just right on in. We have an equalizer once again, all tied up. And unfortunately, due to an unfortunate touch.
Yeah, it looks like it, but I suppose Ballers will take a goal. Goal is goal, as they say. Teacher taking a strong 50 there, flying a little bit forward, trying to get the bump across, narrowly misses it. And Nitro gonna get the touch in the corner. Technic coming to help out. And it looks like it's an all commit in the corner here as Willen tries to fight for possession. And, coming with another one shot. But this time, Teacher prepared.
Across there, blocks the clear. Well, with Boost, gonna try to take this. It's down towards center. I'll leave it for the player. Almost controlled it. Ballers launching to the backboard. Is there a follow-up shot? Not yet there. Blocked away though. Nitro. Gonna get a touch on that one. Launch this up, launch over, launch it across. Still tied up. Will anyone score in this last minute? We are approaching that golden goal. The last score that may decide this game. And here's Wellens across, but oh my goodness, the defense is up so fast.
They are up fast indeed. Technical now playing it straight in there, going for the demo, deleting his opponent, and he's been an absolute menace this game. He's playing very high up, going for those pass plays, and I love the tactics being played here. They are playing in a very, very aggressive style of Rocket League. As Nitro puts one away, they are both being absolute pests in the net, going for those bumps. And again, the midfield play coming through, plays the pass across. Can Nitro sink this? If he can get the double, that is it. But that might have been the overtime bell, because at scores level 2-2, you'd think that we got to overtime. Maybe backboard gets it down. There we are. That's the overtime.
And here we go. These games just swinging left, right, and now dead center. A reset perhaps at the ceiling. Demo opened it up, but the defense was just in the right spot to clear that one away. And these teams are just sticking it to one another. Not willing to give up an inch if possible. Just getting in front of that ball, getting a man on it, and not afraid to get those demos and bumps in.
Both of these teams are swinging with there, but Worty making sure of it. And looks like their entire team is hella low on boost as the attack is relentless. Nitro with the double. Oh my gosh, that was very, very close. Ball is being saved once again by the crossbar. And this is a game where both teams are going hammer and song. They are swinging, they are punching, they are going for the knockout blow. Willant playing it straight into the middle. Werty now in the air, plays back to Willant. Willant plays it down, but Nitro with the save.
Ooh, big 50 after the center there. Could be dangerous. Willant's the last man back. Clears it to the side while D-Money back center. Who's going to it first? It's Teacher. I'm trying to center this for a teammate perhaps. Off the ceiling, full boost. Pass down, but just too much sauce on it.
A little too much sauce indeed. Teacher playing it up against the backboard. Technic getting the touch. Teach keeping it straight in. Nitro forced into the save. Ooh, what a lovely little touch there. Beats one, beats two. And you can see the baller's attack is relentless. If they play a counter here now, it's dangerous. But Werty winning possession in the air, tries to go for the dunk. And now almost at 2 minutes of overtime, we are still going. D-Money with the clear. Willant with the play down, gets the shot in. Oh, crossbar save.
Just off target. And you gotta hone that one in when you are in overtime. Now, Nitro there, no boost. Does get dunked. Technic Eagle, plenty to work with here through the midfield. Willant past a player. One left. Nitro's got to get real strong on this one just in time. Defense does get back to support, but still the pressure from Ballers is mounting. D-Money trying to break away. A redirect, perhaps Technic Eagle doesn't work out. Nitro on the defense once again.
Oh, this is looking intense. Werty trying to get the pass across. Teacher on the back foot though, couldn't make an attacking attempt of this. Beats one, but Nitro waits, plays it into the corner, gets it, but Willant, an absolute rock, gets beaten by D-Money. It's down, it's in. D-Money scores, and Nguni take game number 3.
Oh, the double tap off the corner, just enough of an angle to get past the defender and in through the narrowest of margins. And Nguni will take it. UnitOx here to kick it forward, take the lead in the series 2-1.
Nitro proving immense, and honestly, what a game. Nitro making 4 saves, taking 4 shots, not getting the goals, but providing their pressure and getting those assists in. So now we have ourselves a serious game. Nguni now up in the lead. It is Ballers to catch up. That confidence buff from game 2 has become a confidence buff from game 3.
And you'll love to see it. Man, that confidence goes so far. And kicking it again though, these games so close. 1-goal games. We get overtime. And it is just absolutely locked in for all of these players. No one really lagging behind. No one popping off as that one solo player. Both these teams are putting in their all as a unit. That's what you absolutely love to see happen, because when you keep working as a unit, you keep improving, you keep changing the game plan, working it in, working it out, and that's how you get those crazy good comebacks.
I'm loving the gameplay that we're seeing so far. It's looking like a game of chess. You know, one team makes a move, the other one counters, and they're playing very smart Rocket League. But we're heading here into game 4, and we start off with a demo on one of the Ballers players. That was Willant. Is his name the same this game? No, it is now just a full stop. So anybody looking out for him now, he went long, now he went short. But either which way, Werty in possession now. Can he get this down? Gets the beats. Oh, so close, but technically is.
A little pop, the quick follow-up, looking for a bump perhaps. Follow-up shot not there. Ooh, there it comes in. A redirect perhaps, but no, Werty to clear away.
Ooh, gets it straight out there. Couldn't get the shot across. D-Money making sure of it. He's going to take possession again. Plays it straight down into the middle. This could be dangerous. Shot across, but Werty there in time. Plays down to Teacher. Teacher gets the ball in. And now an aerial contest. Technic playing it down. And Teacher got possession, couldn't beat, but draws in 2. Shot coming in, plays it in, saved by Technic.
beautiful save pitching across that bar there. The shot would have just slipped on in, but the defense standing strong, and these teams absolutely locked in right now, not letting anything get past them. They are fully aware of each other, the teams, and where this ball is going. They're just looking to find that technical move, that one piece of control, or that little bit of chaos that helps them get into that net.
I don't know what's happening there. They look like they were doing synchronized ballet. As now, oh, demo in the air. And it looks like Willant, the full stop, paid the price for that one, getting demoed. And now Nitro gets the clear, but Wordy's going to be back in time to make that save. This has been a very back and forth game so far. Another 2 minutes have elapsed without a goal. This is tight. This is tense. This is finals Rocket League right here. No team wanting to make the mistake. Is now Wordy pinches it off into the ground. But again, Technic in the air, trying to get the bump, but Teacher solid as a rock.
Ooh, reset to backboard. Is there a follow-up shot? Not going to happen. So Wordy downfield, full boost. We're going to work around this corner here. Gets a bump, but doesn't quite get it to a teammate.
He didn't get the boost there either. D-Money laying it down, getting it across. But Wordy responding in kind. He's going to take the 50. D-Money a boost full of tank, it seems. And I realized the way that sounded. We're running with it. It is the way it is. Teacher trying to get the shot across. Not quite there, but Nguni still in their own half. Contested by Wordy, but D-Money still in possession. Trying to play the pass across. Will settle for a demo. And now Nitro going to go with the flick. Gets the flick. But very well saved there by Willant.
Go to the far side. Plenty of space for Technic Eagle to start doing something here. It's a bit awkward on the defensive side. Ends up putting it center. But D-Money is able to clear it out, but Teacher is there to intercept. And once again, we have fought tooth and nail to the last 2 minutes with zeros on the board. It might look like another overtime or a last-minute goal to lock it in.
Well,
we gotta wait and see. Clear it down off to the side. A passing play perhaps, but no, it's just Wordy to his own corner to regain control.
I was gonna say this stream, everybody watching this right now deserves a game 7. I could watch these guys play all day. They are playing with such intensity, passing it down. Wordy with the shot, but Technic making the last-ditch save. Wordy going up again, gets the touch through to the corner. Now Willant playing it up in the air, but Technic this time with a tank full of boost, should I say. Gets it in, gets the flick across, but again, the defense holding strong. Teacher playing it across, and again, puts it back safely. I think they're just trying to reset you.
Can't reset too many times, because eventually you may run into an error, and that can absolutely cause things to crash. Coming across here, defense is able to clear it out. So Technic Eagle's going to launch this one downfield. Nitro looking for a touch to the corner here. Crashing in, D-Money looking to continue this offense. Technic Eagle with a redirect, but the defense is just in the way.
What a shot and what a save ultimately. And now it is the Ballers' turn to defend as they are under siege now by Nguni, as they try to desperately get this one out, because if they don't, this is going to be another overtime, and this time I would rate Nguni to take it. And in the pressure cooker that is this game, as we head down to 0 seconds, it will be an overtime, and Nguni are playing with their tails up right now.
Ooh, a strong cheat there from D-Money. It's a little pressure on here. Kind of bring it around. Now Wordy, a little bit of space, but no! A demo coming out. Hop over to the far side by the defense. Now breakaway and Nguni trying to make it happen, but Wordy will just slam it towards net. Defense almost gets bumped. Teacher a little awkward there. Across, tap up, backboard. Almost gets it, but now another opportunity here. A 50 in the midfield will kill it. So we'll see who takes control now.
Shot coming across there. Oh, unfortunate there. Teacher did the right thing, but couldn't get the clear, and Technic finishes this. And now, look at this Nguni side. They are playing so well. Technic is absolutely red hot right now, as they win their third game in game number 4.
And it did seem like Teacher was one of those players who's getting nervous this last game. Just had a couple missed touches, and maybe the confidence is starting to degrade a bit there. But we got to see, a little bit of a step up from the entire Ballers team, but also such a close game. Another overtime 1-0. But this does mean that now UnitOx and Goonie at match point. They have 3 opportunities to take this series, and that is just so much when these games have been so back and forth. But at the end of the day, and really, and Goonie, though, able to wrestle victory away from the Ballers.
It has been so close, so intense, but ultimately, I think it is the demos that make it. And this time, Ballers coming out with double the amount of demos. They returned the favor, but they couldn't return the result, because currently, as you said, Nguni are in pole position to take game point now. And that's it. There's one game separating. So in this next game, it is the big decider. UnitOx get to decide whether they want to finish this right here, right now, or Ballers say, no, we're not done here yet. So heading in to this game, number 5, it is everything now for Ballers to reclaim or Nguni to finish off.
Yeah, if I'm in those comms right now trying to figure it out for Ballers, I got to tell Teach, hey, go for some bumps, go for some demos, just absolutely start hitting the gas. But it looks like it's Technic Eagle who's hitting the net right now, slamming it home. D-Money with the outplay, chipping it up, and absolute destruction off the passing play.
I gotta give credit where credit is due. Technic is scoring all of the goals, but D-Money with those pass plays. What a pass. It allowed Technic to take an absolute laser down. Now Teacher playing a very awkward shot across. Willen trying to get the touch in there, not being able to. But honestly, Nguni looking control here as Nitro plays one down. And they're going to keep this pressure up, I think. I do not think that Ballers are going to see the end of this as Technical Eagle scores his brace. And now UnitOx are 2 up and Ballers have a bit of a hill to climb.
And great passes, great fake outs, and Goonie right now are locked in as a team, as a unit. They know what they want to do. They know how to hit each other. Now it's up to Ballers, like you were saying, to step it up, figure out what they're doing here with their game plan. Because that shot's just going to go absolutely wide, even though it's an open net.
It is looking a little bit tough out here as Ballers once again are on the defense. But D-Money being all over the place. He's often hitting those passes off the sidewall, hitting them straight down. Technic hanging around mid. It's a very interesting tactic there. Ooh, double demo there. Wow, by Nitro.
I mean, Technic Eagle hanging out mid, just saying, come on, pass the center, I dare you. Watch me shoot another one into your net. I think it's just an ego challenge or an ego position that is just there to crush the confidence of Ballers. And as they try to get out of the way here, a chip here perhaps, but it will get cleared away.
I think the tilt might be setting in here because they are playing very aggressively now. Getting the bump across. Can he get the shot though? Not quite. Fakes it in, and Nguni bunched up in the corner. They're going to play the shot down. Can he get the shot in? Yes, he can. The full stop. Willens, who didn't change his name for the first time in the series. Maybe that's the buff that they need.
There's that consistency, but who knows? The passing play, great connection there, right past the defense, and Ballers are back in this game. 1 on the board and within 1 here. Demo will open things up. 1 defender left, now 2 off the respawn, and that means that there's a clear there. D-Mon tries to put it around though. Passing play, Technic Eagle cannot be stopped.
Technic Eagle firing red hot. D-Money once again with an immaculate pass down center, and Technic is like, thank you, I will take that. And gets another goal. This has been a demonstration of teamwork by Nguni. They are playing very well and are now favorites to take it. and the only thing separating them is the Ballers squad and about 2 minutes and 45 seconds as they are running rampant right now.
Nitro almost got that double touch, which would have absolutely crushed the spirits of Ballers, but they are still keeping them at bay here. Still up 3-1. That is a tough spot to climb out of. Ooh, an awkward touch here. Perhaps an opportunity off the backboard. Is there a shot coming in? No, Nitro fakes out the touch. Another fake out here, but it does get cleared away. Now Teacher downfield won't maintain possession, and that might just be one of the issues that they have here. It's just the lack of ability to keep that ball under their own control.
I just think that NaVeDs are playing the game that they want to play. They are passing. They are playing a very high-tempo game, and I even dare to say, akin to some of the teams that came in through RLCS this last season, you know, playing these laser passes across field, just making sure it finds your man, and not necessarily taking the 50 Nitro, getting another demo there, but Swifty getting back in time. And Ballers, I haven't seen a response from them yet. We've still got 1 minute 30 left to go, but NaVeDs are taking this so well. D-Money putting it underneath the defense there this time. Simple shot, gets it in, and now a 4-1 lead. You gotta say that things are looking pretty rough for Ballers right now.
It does seem like an insurmountable wall right now in front of them. 1 minute 30 left and down 4-1. And with NaVeDs not looking like they are really backing down in any way. 2 attempts at that double touch didn't quite come through. A little control on the backfield. A shot, perhaps a demo, and Teacher will put it in. They're coming back, and can they maintain this momentum? We'll see, but this is the start you need.
Well, there we go. They were all in on that one. All 3 players within like 10 meters of the ball. That is what you need to do when you need to come back. You overload a player. You wrest possession from them and you put it in the back of the net quickly. And now, putting it back in the NaVeDs half, almost getting the shot across their Nitro now, putting a pinch in, playing it straight down to the middle. And with a minute left on the clock, Ballers are going to play with very much urgency if they want to keep their hopes alive in this one.
A bump there, but Technic Eagle has opportunity. A 50 goes absolutely in his way, but it's not in quite yet. D-Money going for the bump off the passing play. The defense stands strong, though, for Ballers, and they will not fall just yet.
Swifty putting it across there, but absolute heroics there by Teacher, making 2 very quick saves in a row. The first one being incredible. And dropping off the back post and making that save. Now Teacher once more getting possession at the back, but D-Money putting in another pass that almost resulted in another goal. And I'd say that this has been one hell of a team performance today, as they have been relentless. And Ballers have had no answer as Technic scores another goal and surely puts the nail in the coffin of this Ballers side.
Technic Eagle, the ace striker here, being set up by D-Money so many times. 5-2. I mean, 3 goals every 3 seconds. It is possible, in air quotes. However, whether it actually happens or not, with a miss like that, I don't think so. I do believe that is it, and NaVeDs lock it in victory here in the finals.
Well, that is all she wrote. We didn't make it to Champions Field, unfortunately, but UnitOx coming out strongly. Technic scoring 4 goals, but D-Money, his new name is the Kingmaker, with 3 assists. Those passes down middle were immaculate. And just look at the demos. UnitOx scoring 10 demos against Ballers 5. They were running absolutely rampant today.
Beautifully done. Great passing play. I mean, UnitOx, they locked it in. They locked in the passing plays, the communication. And while Ballers did look good, they did look disjointed. And I think that at the end of the day is the deciding factor that gave UnitOx the victory.
Well, let's have a quick look here at the post-series stats. Yeah, well, looks like Nguni came out a lot easier at the end of this, scoring 13-8 with 45 shots to 30. That's 50% more shots than this Ballers squad. And every other stat looks the same. Same amount of demos, same amount of possession, same amount of boost. It was simply the amount of shots that they were about to lay down. And I think it was all of that those D-money passes into midfield and Technic or Nitro playing off that. So immaculately played by Nguni and fantastically played at the end of the day. So Greybeard, your thoughts on this one?
Well, Bromeo. So the Order of Okes unbeaten.
Yeah.
Until about now.
I just lost about 25,000 channel points, so I'm pretty sad on that one. But at the end of the day, we were treated to some very high quality Rocket League here today, and at the end, I don't mind. That was very well played, and for a team that's only been together for a week, the synergy that they showed means that the next 9 weeks of league play are going to be absolutely incredible.
You have handled that incredibly well and diplomatically, Bromeo, but your point is very well taken. No, because I think it does lay the foundation for league play, which gets underway. I mean, if you look at it just by names on rosters, you go, surely the Order of Okes team, the Ballers, they should have been all over that. But to see the UnitOx team coming to the party, it is very good. And ultimately, this is what we want to see in all of these leagues, is the broad community improvement through the involvement of everybody. And so it does whet the appetite for league play, which begins in a little over 24 hours. 9th on Monday, we are into it. It is league play. And Zektek, thank you very much. Once again, great to have you. Thank you very much for coming on board. I really hope we'll get to see more of you during the course of our league season, and then of course league playoffs in about 2 months time. Where are we now? September, October, November, 2 months-ish. Been a bit months-ish time from now. And Bromeo, as always, I commiserations on your team not making it, but they got as far as the finals, and so did very well to get there. But this is just the beginning. League play coming up. So yes, Bromeo.
I've got to say, and somebody fact check this for me, but I don't think anybody who's won a preseason tournament has gone on to win the league so far, and that might be copium for me, and it definitely is. I think Ballers pulled out a tactical play here at the very last minute and said, you know what, we're going to save ourselves from the curse, and we're going to give ourselves a successful season instead, and I can live with that.
All right. Well, there you go. So that is that. So let that be a warning to you, VuDu, and to you, Hecky. Maybe you can upset history, change history by winning a preseason and then winning a game in league play. All right. Well, that brings us to the end of the night, and it's been so fun doing it. And one of the big reasons it has been fun doing it is because we have our sponsors on board, and of course Nexo sponsoring the prize pool, which comes at the very end of the season, but at the beginning of the season and throughout the season are the broadcast sponsors, Genisus, Extreme, and one of the real important reasons of doing the stream tonight was for us to get the hang of how it's all going to work, and we've used this as a testing ground to bring the superb quality Rocket League broadcasting from league play. The first league play match is going to be this coming Thursday, the 12th of September. We'll be starting, I think it's around 6 or 7 o'clock will be the first week of league play. Then we are into it proper. But from me and all the broadcast team, of course, Genesis, we have Desolation, we have Deploy, we have our match admin. We had a match admin tonight, chasing up the teams, rounding up the cats into lobbies, setting up those lobbies. Heinz-Chin, thank you very much for being here. And of course, our casters early on, Vector and Rhino casts, and then TheBromeo and Zektek coming in, all of us together, bringing you the stream. And that's going to wrap it up And we are going to be raiding DSQ, who didn't have a great night here tonight, but they're hosting a 2v2 cup, so go and support that. Follow them. Tell them that you were sent by RSC SSA. But that is going to wrap it up from us. So from me, Greybeard, to all of you, see you Thursday. Peace!
And what a shot from Kirica, taking that off the ceiling, underneath the ball, and straight down the middle.
Oh, there it is, out of the blue!
2 seconds left on the clock and the Joker finds something out of nothing.
Now, that pass from Shadow was immaculate, playing it straight down center. Hecky just had to get a touch, and it's all he needed.
Sonic has a chance, it's an open net if he sees it. Looking for the shot downfield, goes into the corner, Kilogram! He gets the goal!
They're just in front of the net. Nuke barely keeps it out there. Dies on the goal line. The long shot, it finds it through. Into Z, gonna pick it up.